Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Zawadi channel. Channel. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Just guys, can just give us a moment. We'll be on here in a little bit. I think Stefan's trying to go in the wrong thing. See. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, guys. Today is the beautiful Friday here in Oregon. Guys, it's Oregon. I hope you guys are doing good. I should actually be getting ready to go out, but today's the day off from outing, so I'm just gonna be having dinner at home here today and working. So Stefan is almost joining you guys. I know everyone on this thing wants to see Stefan. So hold on. He's going to be on here and then you can talk to him. You can ask him any questions that you would like to ask. We move anyway. Let's see. How's everyone doing? Don't be boring, people. Just come in and talk. And we don't bite. At least I don't bite. So let's see. Stefan's coming on. This is going to be a very important discussion. I know recently they passed the bill dual citizenship, and I'm a little bit on the fence about this. And then, but some people are very concerned about dual citizenship and what it means to the country, especially those who are on the ground as it relates to jobs and people in the diaspora taking their jobs, especially political. He's on. Okay, thank you, by the way. All right, how do I do this one? Upstream. Okay, so as it relates to that, and honestly, I don't want to go take anybody government job, but that's a different story. We move. Hello.
Hey, let me straighten up my light. It's going crazy.
Okay. Stefan Light is acting up.
How's that? Right?
Stefan Light is from Grand Bassa County. It's okay. It should be. Let me see. It should be good. I think they can see you. So
I'm probably gonna block it anyways. What's up?
Yeah, what's up, everyone? How's your day?
Can I see? Let me see. Let me go to the chat's comments so I can be able to see. Okay, perfect. Good. Glad to be on. How are you doing?
I'm good. Trying to take it easy here today, and yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah, no. Week flew by.
No, right?
Thanks for inviting me on the live. Always a pleasure to be on, especially when we over here talk about Liberia.
Right.
Get me excited.
Yes.
What did
exciting. You went back recently, and I saw you guys ate a lot of food.
Yeah. So that was really good. I'm really trying to go back at the end of this year if I can again. Um, Obviously, ideally, if I was living life on my own terms, I'll be back there like, uh, probably like 6 months out the year at least minimum.
Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as we came back, I mean, we were definitely missing it, and
Right.
it gets better as you go on, but you always miss going back home, and but the thing when you don't have your own place and you don't have your own car, you just imagine what it would be like damn, if I had my own place, if I had my own car, I'd be chilling. Um,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
Living like
but
a
the
queen.
Airbnb we got, obviously, you recommended it to us, so that was a really, really nice spot. Can't even lie. I want to see if I could top that. I want to see if there's nicer places out there, just to see what Monrovia has to offer, because that place was really nice, and I mean, we had a good time. So
Okay. Yeah. And also to the location, I feel like the location is central and it's a good location too. Yeah. There are
yeah,
other places to check out that can be that it's top
think I
notch.
could beat that. But see,
Yeah.
this place right here, so it was kind of like, all right, it was a 5-story building. It was on the top floor, and you could look down and see other people's houses and stuff, and um, people were just living normal. Like some of
Yeah.
those people didn't have electricity, so every day they would like go and they would chill outside under the mango tree and pick mangoes and be chilling out on the porch gossiping. And then of course in the morning you see all the kids going pumping the water for the house. So just sitting there and watching that when you're not used to just seeing that, in America obviously you don't see nothing like that.
Right.
It's just like I don't know. It just hits different. It's not like when you watch it on a video, when you out there and just looking. So a lot of times I spend a lot of my time just on the porch, just
Oh
watching,
wow.
seeing what the kids are doing, seeing how people are interacting. Um, in the morning, kids getting their stuff ready to go sell their cookies and their biscuits, and just going down to the junction to sell it. So I spent a lot of time on that porch just looking around, and then every day I came back, I would get the kids like some little cookies and biscuits. So they were always like loving that, anticipating. And then every day they would get like their best mangoes. They would pick their best mangoes and they would have it ready for me when I came back.
Oh,
And they would like tell
that's
me
nice.
like these are our best picks of the day. And we take it
Oh.
upstairs and smash it with some pepper. So
Oh, there you go, there you go. And then always, Lone Star Mini, Orange Data, all that stuff. Did you hear that
oh
too?
yeah. Orange did that, orange did that. Yep.
Every
I think
day.
we'll be dreaming about that. I know Melvin, he kept saying that for like 2 weeks since we got back. Like orange did that, come get your dinner. Like, all right, man.
Don't start Mini,
Stop.
Orange Data.
Yeah.
Ah,
Stop. But
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
we missing it. Can't wait to go back. Um, when you gonna be going back? I know you just came back. Plan on
Yeah,
going back?
I was scheduled to go back in September, but then I had some things move around today with my doctor. So probably end of October now, it seems.
In October.
So yeah.
That's when the rain season is about to stop, right?
Yep.
Okay. And
Yeah.
at first, I was like, I don't think I can live in Liberia in the rain season. But then I've been watching some people on Facebook and stuff. Man, those people out there chilling. It's not even
Okay.
raining all day. It rains like 2 hours, 3 hours. Even if it's raining, if you're chilling outside by your pool, what you even care about rain for?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, all right,
So
maybe it's not that bad.
it's not that bad,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. If you have a car, like you said, if you have a car, if you have your house, I think Liberia can be an okay, comfortable place to live if you have those things, and if
Right.
you're comfortable within your home and everything is running accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about car, I've been talking about sending a couple cars. The one I have right now ready to go is my minivan, and
Hmm.
we talked about some of the prices to ship and clear. So if anybody's ever watching this channel and they have those kind of connections to ship things from the East Coast, I think it's really important to just create some kind of network because there's
Right.
people out there like myself. I'm looking to ship a couple of personal cars, but definitely in the short term, I'm looking to ship cars as a business and start using those vehicles over there. So if anybody watching this live has those kind of connections on the East Coast, let's run some numbers. Let's put our heads together. Let's see what we can do because We need cars out there. The cars out there are not in the best shape. Like, you rent a car and you about to go fix something like right away.
Okay. I feel like all these rental people just don't fix the cars and they just have it on the road, and it can be disturbing.
Or something happened in your car and they want to blame you. You got to fix it.
They want to blame you to fix it. Like, oh, okay, what kind of rental company are you anyway?
Damn, that's messed up.
Exactly. So did you contact Stefan and by any chance?
I sent her a message. She has not responded. So maybe if you hear from her, you can mention it, because I definitely would not mind driving up to Philly or Maryland or wherever and ship it from out of there. I feel like if I could save if I could save $500 to $1,000, it might be worth it to take it up there. If it's just a couple of hundred, then it's not worth it. But I want to compare prices, because when you get into a new industry, you don't really know what the actual price is. You don't know what's a high price, what's a low price. So as you start to hear more numbers, then you get a little more familiar with what the actual true number is. So right now, I got one price to ship, so I just want to compare that. So yeah, if anybody watching this live got those connections, let us know. Let me see if the comments on.
Okay, so guys, you're watching this live, you're sharing it, you're obviously gonna comment later. If you know anyone who's shipping out of the East Coast to Liberia, please let us know. Let Stefan know, so then he can connect with you. So
Perfect.
I know you went back home, Stefan. You're doing so much in Africa, like just in a very short time frame. What can you tell us? What can you tell us about your trip, or your observation? Just like Liberian people want to know.
Yeah. So, firstly, we just started our road project in our community, which I wish I knew. I wish we could share some
I wish
footage.
I could share with them. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. So we just started that road project, and if you guys have not been back to Liberia anytime recently, like, the only road project I saw was a government project, was like a main road. That's it. I didn't see anybody working on any other roads, and I wasn't over there in the rain season. Like, there was no rain; it was dry. So this is my second time going back to Liberia back to back, and the fact that you don't see people fixing roads, like, it's a serious problem in that country. So, like I said today in our WhatsApp group, when we just broke ground, started fixing the road, like, that is such a big move. Uh, it just sets the standard. It, hopefully we're serving as an example to others. But I'm just so happy to be a part of a road project, because you know uh, roads was not a big concern to me. But when I started to buy land and I can't even get to the land, oh yeah, it's a problem. And even that other land over there in Marshall, the driver, he kept warning us, man, we about to walk, man. Y'all gonna walk. We're gonna be walking.
Right. You don't even like to walk.
Hey, yeah, you gotta walk like 20 minutes to get to your land. And I mean, we did the same thing with that community. When we went over there, we had to park and walk all the way to the beach. It wasn't that bad, but I mean, you walk in at least 10, 15 minutes. So the fact that we're breaking ground and fixing a road, and we're doing it with a large number of people for a relatively low cost to fix a road, I mean, it just not only amazes me that others haven't, done the same thing, but it makes me proud to be a part of a project like that, because I know this is just the beginning. Um, Once we show others what's possible, I know this is something that we're going to be doing for a very long time, and we're going to be fixing a lot of roads. And in the future, I mean, we'll probably be using our own machinery to fix the road. So this just opens a lot of doors, and I'm really just happy to be a part of this project. And I guess before we get too deep into this live, I just want to take the opportunity to, give you your flowers right now. Um, a lot of times we don't let people know um, how much it is that they're doing and how much that means to us, not even just an individual, but in this case for our country. And I just want to come out there and say, what you're doing is, truly amazing. It's inspiring. It's something that, I mean, I don't really see anybody doing. And I do a lot of research. So I just want to give you your flowers right now while I have the opportunity. Like, we really appreciate it. And a lot of times, you know, when you meet somebody and they're doing something and you can help them, I mean, that's an opportunity in itself. Because, you know, if you wasn't around, like, who who would I be partnering up with? Who would I be expecting to, you know, show me these things or to follow their path? There's not really a lot of people. I'm sure somebody's doing it in Liberia, of course, but the fact that not only that you're doing it, you're putting it out there for us to see, to show as an example. I mean, it's just really amazing. And I would tell everybody the same thing. Um, People are not the same, and you know, in our country's history, we just don't have a lot of these people. Our people are known to leave the country and pretty much not try to come back. And when you go back to Liberia, you see the results of that. So what you're doing and putting it out there for everybody to see, I definitely appreciate it. Not taking it for granted, and um, I'm gonna take full advantage to do whatever I can, because who knows, after this, hopefully somebody else step up, but we might never see another Emma
Mhm.
doing these things. So everybody, while she's here now, while we're here, I mean, take advantage. Like, you know, these people don't come around so often. So that's what, as soon as I seen it, and we've only known each other for a short period of time, but when I started following your work and seeing what you was doing, look around, let me see who else is doing it. There's nobody. There's nobody. Um, it's sad, but it just lets you know that, you know, since we do have somebody who's willing to show us and lead by example, like, we got to hit the gas. We're not here forever. We got to be the one to set this example, and this is what the country desperately needs. So I don't know how to say it any other way than that, but just want to give you your flowers. We definitely appreciate you, and just keep doing what you're doing. It's definitely a motivation.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, so you said it all right. So I think when we see roads in Liberia or lack thereof, we automatically think government. What role the government is gonna to build next. How long it's gonna take the government. Is it gonna take 10 years, 20 years to fix a road? Especially those roads that are heading to our various homes and places that we live. I think when we are able to mobilize, right, and this is the initial stage of the road process, and that's where a lot of people struggle with, because when I purchase my land, you purchase your land. Now we're finding it hard to get in touch with raising money, putting money together, and starting the process. And oftentimes things are left in the crack, and people cannot find each other. So therefore, you'd see roads that are muddy, a lot of sand, car gets stuck. People just don't fix their roads because they don't mobilize. And so you being on this project too. I mean, it means a lot because I know you push the agenda a lot. You see the vision. We become a model community, and hopefully others can take a look and say, you know what, if these guys can do it, I could do it as well. And that's how we bring about development. I think that when you see a problem, you find solutions to them. Doesn't help. Complaining doesn't help. And so I think these little projects that we're doing will serve as a model for others looking to help develop. And I think this is one of the contributions we can give to our country.
Right, right. And another thing I should add on to that too is, you know, with these kind of projects, you got to put your ego aside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can't be thinking, what's this person doing? What's that person doing? Uh, Obviously, you're not going to get 100% of the people around to contribute. What are you
Right.
gonna do? Knock on somebody's cornerstone and wait for them to answer the door? I mean, come on. Like, you're not gonna say, okay, this person cornerstone here, so I'm not gonna do that. So I think as Liberians, sometimes we have a big ego. We're like, okay, if this person right ain't doing it, I ain't doing it. Well, that's fair, but I mean, like I said, you're not gonna get 100% of the people in there. If you can get a majority, and then, like, we're trying to figure out how to get money out to other people, but I'm not gonna wait around and try to get every single person. Like, how you even find these people, like you're saying, right? So I think this formula of bringing people together and then fixing the road, I mean, yeah, that's the best way it's gonna work. That's the best to get the best outcome. But even those people that's been there before, that's on those years for 10, 15 years, I mean, if you can't find them, you can't locate them. I mean, don't let that stop you from doing what you got to do. You know,
Right.
you got to fix that road. I don't care about Joe Blow, who had his land for 15, 20, 30 years. Obviously, he ain't doing nothing with it. So, yeah, in the future, if we can get some out of him, yeah, perfect. But we got to we got to hit the ground, and we got to start working. And, man, just seeing that video of them clearing that road and just seeing the road go all the way down, I mean, it just hit
I
different.
really wish we could share with these people, but we will put something together to share with them about this road project and where it started from, purchasing land and mobilizing all these 34 individuals to come together to form a community and also an investment group, and where we are currently. We will actually show them progress, and this, I believe, will help our country to move in the direction that we want to see it move. It's a gradual process, but with all of our involvement, we can shape the narrative of the country and what is going on there. And so I'm very happy to see that the road project is going on. Surprisingly, we had a Chinese truck go there today. Emmanuel should have told you that.
Oh, really?
But the block, the area with the sand, and Emmanuel said it's going to be $10 per entry. So you go in, you come back, it's 10. So $20 to go there. And I believe other communities can do this as well. Like it's almost like a checkpoint. If you fix a road and John Paul decides he's not going to contribute to it, well, then you have the checkpoint. Each time John enters the place and goes in and out, it's $20, or you charge a fee to them, and then you will realize, well, yeah, I'm actually paying more money to go in and out versus the one-time fee that I have to pay to get this road working.
Right.
So yeah.
And not to even mention that in these areas, like this land specifically in Brewerville, there's no development to be done if that road doesn't get fixed. So
Right.
we could all put our cornerstones on, but we can't fix anything. But the minute you fix the road, watch how many people about to start building their houses.
Right.
So
Right.
just imagine if you times that by 10, by 20 in different areas of Liberia. I mean, this is development
Right.
we're looking for. It can't just start with development. If your road, if the trucks, the material can't make it to your land, how you expect people to actually develop? So everybody's gonna have their cornerstone. They're gonna be sitting on it. Nobody want to fix the road by themselves. And then what you have is like you have a country full of cornerstones. This is a cornerstone country. So that's what we're working with over here, the cornerstone country. So when you fix the road, then one person start building, then the next person start building, and like even you told me this before I even started buying land. Nobody want to be the first to build around there,
Yeah.
but once that first person start building, the second person start building, then next thing you know, I mean, it encourages others. So it's almost like a chain reaction. We want development in Liberia, but we don't want to fix the road. So
Right.
it goes hand in hand. You got to start fixing roads before you start getting those developments. You know,
Right. Right.
so I think what we're doing right now, what we're working on, is going to have a chain reaction, going to the positive direction. And I think the more people that contribute to this, not just this role specifically, but I'm saying moving forward, because
But yeah, even like the second community that I established, the Wordsville community, everyone sees what we're doing in this first community, and people are coming on board and joining and saying, I would like to be a part of this, because at the end of the day, when you combine the funds, it goes a long way versus waiting for somebody to come up with 50, 100,000 to do a road. So I believe mobilizing as a collective will help the the whole road issues that we have in the country. Honestly, most of the roads that head to people's houses, now I'm not talking about government roads or perhaps those large public roads, but roads that are more so community based. Mobilizing as a unit could really, really help. And I think more and more people should start looking to that before they can even purchase land, or perhaps if you've already purchased land, you have to see how best you can mobilize. And I think it just deserves a leader, somebody who can say, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice my time to see how I can get all these people together for us to start doing this. Because I know, like, very people, the moment they see another person break ground, they want to do it as well. And so this is where you need someone to lead, and then you guys can move forward, and then you can see more and more progress.
Right. And not to mention the locals, the people who are like living around there, their small villages and towns, like they know when they see you, like when they see us coming in, like they see white men like me. Oh,
Yes, yes.
y'all come to build houses. Like, they like that. They've been waiting for people to do that, right?
Right.
Because imagine them. They live in the country their whole lives. All right, people leave, they go to America, UK, Australia, but damn, where these people at? They never come back. Like, where they go? So when they see us coming looking at land, I'm flying my drone, we're taking pictures. Like, oh, y'all come and build house? Yeah, we come and build house. So they know, they like that. They're welcoming, like, yes, finally. So
Right.
I think, yeah. So not only do we owe it to the country, like it's a chain reaction. We start making these people's lives better too. It seems like it's just development and building our house, but we're actually making the economy better. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We're spending in there. It's like a trickle down effect. So that's what the country really needs. So the people, they be excited. Like, you know, in that Brewville area, like we probably gonna be some superstars. Like they probably gonna think we celebrity just because we initiated a community. Like it sounds crazy, but that's really how they see it.
No, it is true. You know, the administrator was telling me, he said, "Hey, can we name this road Emma Road?" And I said, "I don't want anyone to know it's me."
Nah.
Right? Even though I put this thing on YouTube, but I honestly, I don't care. I don't want them to know it's me. I just want to live my peaceful life in that community. But you know, they are so proud to see development because to be quite fair with, honest with you, there are people who purchased land 7 years ago from that specific community, and here we are. We recently purchased this land. Literally, it's not even a year yet, right? And look at the development we've brought to them so far. And so, I mean, the whole Segway community, all they say, wow, you know, these people, Sea Cape community, LIB Mutual Investments, oh my God, they're doing so much more for us. Emma, I want to name this road Emma Road. I'm like, nah, just name it something else.
Emma Road.
Emma Road, yeah, bench of Emma Road.
Emma Boulevard.
Emma Boulevard.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna put a statue of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sculpture.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are they gonna name the road? We never thought about that.
Yeah, that's a very good point, though. Yeah.
We gotta cut the little ribbon with the little scissors. Grand opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. But hi, internet. Hi, hello. Everyone. There are some comments.
Oh, love name Jamaica. Mexico. Name Mexico. Chilling.
Here, you shouldn't be watching videos on your vacation.
Mexico.
Hello. I've been following you. Okay, somebody said been following you for the last month and really love how you are encouraging Liberians to help build our country. Great programming, Zawadi. Oh, thank you, and guest. Peace. I just shared this on Twitter. Thank you so much, Mike. So yeah. So we are currently talking development, right, and how Liberians can get involved in the development process. What are your thoughts? What do you think? What do you see? What have you observed?
So we all know that, you know, as opposed to like America, a lot of Western countries, we don't build houses. We don't, you know, do development. And even if you do development, you're not using your own money. We have banks to work with, and they would literally finance the entire project, and you can pay for that. Obviously, we know 30-year mortgage, 15-year mortgage. So what I've been wondering is, you know, it's a high expectation to expect people to build $100,000 house or $150,000 house. Is there any other options as far as being able to set up something similar to what the United States has, where you can get funding from a bank to actually develop your house and maybe even use that land or that development as collateral to secure that loan? Do they have something like that available?
So the thing with that is the interest rate is very high, and oftentimes people who are there locally or perhaps in the diaspora, they just don't want to pay that. And of course, I don't blame them. The interest rate is extremely hard. Is extremely high. What is the exchange? You know, if one cannot pay that loan, what do you exchange back? You know, a lot of people don't really have anything to exchange. Versus in the U.S., if you take a loan, you know what the IRS is going to do with your check. You know there's a form of accountability, and then you don't have places that you're going to run, even if you attempt to do so. They're they don't have that flexibility to do so over there. So the interest is high. They know you can't pay the interest. They can't give you the money. So then you're left stuck. They don't have a mortgage system at all in Liberia. So you see people building homes and charging like 50,000 cash, for example. How many people want to pay $50,000 cash for a 2-bedroom house with no backyard? I'm talking about those houses on the Robert Street Highway. I don't know if you pay attention to those homes that are being built over there, charging $40,000 to $50,000 with little to no backyard, right? How many people have that cash to want to pay for those things? So the system is lacking. It's not there. It's just really not present.
But I see they do offer payment options on those. Not a traditional like 10-year or anything like that, but I see they got something in those terms of payment.
They do on those. Okay, so when you observe the Robert Street Highway where they're building those homes, the homes at the front does have different prices versus the ones on the side and the back, whatever it is. So depending on where you are, they have a structure in terms of how much you can pay per month, or how much ever you can break it into a payment plan. The thing is, a $40,000 house on that Robert Street Highway, why is a good location? The same can be built somewhere else with a big backyard, larger space, 4-bedroom house, and so you have to weigh your options.
Right. So I think, I think there is a way that it can be worked out. Obviously, it would be like investors, seeing that it's worth it to do these kind of things. But even just educating Liberian people how to secure those funds on this end, I think that this kind of education and pushing that kind of initiative, that also has a trickle down effect on Liberia. Because I think a lot of people, they just work like hand to mouth. So the little $100 they got, it takes them forever to kind of build those houses. They're not really like financially savvy. Like, okay, I'm going to borrow this money. I'm going to do this and do this kind of business. So I feel like that plays a role too, and why there's not really a lot of development. So these are the kind of things that I was thinking about. Like, if people had to buy their houses outright in America or fund their own development to build their houses, like how many people in America will really even have houses too? I thought about using the house as a collateral. If somebody's building a house and you don't pay me back, I could use this house as a collateral. But then if I got to turn around and sell the house for $100,000, how liquid in that investment can other people really afford to buy it? So I'm like, that's, in the future, with enough of us, I think those are definitely some things to be looking into. But just what those guys are doing over there, whoever the investor is doing that on Robertsville Highway, and even though you don't get a backyard and stuff, but just encouraging people to buy homes and come back home. In my eyes, that's like a plus, because that's what we need.
It does. If you take a look at the area, it gives the country a great visual look, right? So if you're coming from the airport, you see all grass and trees, and then you go to this specific area, you see the homes that are being developed and the mall, the shopping centers within that area. It does give a good visual look anyway, and also to alleviate the headache that people will otherwise have trying to build houses on their own, or those who really cannot go back home anyway. So that helps a lot. What we're doing here in this community, I believe too, will help if you become your own developer. All right, so be your own developer at a gradual pace, to where the concept is great, because obviously you guys are all in the process of the roads, the water, as you know, like this everything that's needed within the community, and that you're heavily involved, but more so at a slower pace, perhaps maybe 2 years even is better than just having nothing, or pretty much just having zero properties in Liberia. So that's another way we could target this. being our own developers or being a developer and selling like those people are.
Right. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different ways that I thought about. Obviously, the more leverage you have, the better. But I'm definitely interested within the next 3, 5 years. Everything goes good. I get my hands on some money. I think these are some things that I'd be willing to use some leverage from the United States to
Mhm.
see how to apply it over there.
Right.
Even if you're not really making that much, if you're making 2, 3%, if you're being a part of the country being developed, I mean, to me, that's a plus. That's what we're really trying to accomplish: more developments in this country. So, just some
Yeah.
things that I'm thinking
And
about.
also, there's another. Well, I'm working on a project right now. It's pre-planning phase is over. Planning phase is there, but it's more so like going into like the interior parts of the country. And I mean, I will have more details later on as I go. But I think this project will minimize the what's it called, the zingran homes that people have all over the place, and you wonder they don't even have toilets, they don't even have this and that in those areas. I think this project, what it's going to do is to uh, remove those zingrans in those like interior parts of the country and bring up a development at a more affordable rate, right? So I have a friend who is currently supplying solar panels to those in the interior. So her process is every community member get together and they pay $5 each per month. Okay, who $5 is like going to the store and buying gum, whatever it is. It's so cheap here. But these people within their community are actually being charged $5 each per home to pay for the solar panels. Now people might say, well, it's $5 is nothing, but these people are getting electricity. That's one way she decided to contribute to Liberia. Though it's charged at $5, but obviously that's a great contribution. And like I said, this project I'm working on is more like an affordable housing
Yeah.
for people in these areas. And so, I mean, we can target this uh, for different ways.
Tell her, let me get one. I got
Huh?
5. Tell her, let me get one. I got my $5 ready.
It's so funny that we're talking about this. So if neighbor one does not have their $5, I asked her what happened, and she said, well, they get shut off, and then other neighbors will come and pay for it, and then for this person they have a payment plan. It's so funny. It's so funny.
But she's already doing that, and that's working.
It's
She doing it
working.
already.
Yes,
Really?
it's working. She used to live in Boston and moved to Liberia, and it's a graduate thing. And I told her that it's going to spread out to most of the counties over there, and it will be good eventually. As she grows, I mean, she can increase prices, see whatever it is. But I think currently it is working.
Yeah. How you feel about solar farms since we have so much land in Liberia?
I mean, anything to bring about development, I'm okay with. I specifically don't have any capacity to get involved with it, but I think it would be a very good project.
Right.
Um, Good. People could do. I just listened to the beginning. I think the West Essential will help the country develop and bring more jobs. Okay. So yeah, that's another point. That's something else that I would like to talk about eventually on dual citizenship. But um, anyway, so you are there, right? And then you take your car to the mechanic. There, and then you reported that they don't have a lot of qualified mechanics there.
Yeah.
What will you tell those in Liberia? Because I know people in Liberia watch this channel all the time, and they tell me they find means to tell me that they do watch this channel.
Yeah.
Like how can people who are really skilled, how can they get in touch if they want to, if they work as a mechanic or they have years and years of experience? Like, what is your advice for people who are looking for a job but they otherwise don't know how to get to people in the diaspora who are looking for workers?
You're saying if they're skilled, how do they get them? How do they get their name out there?
Yes.
It's amazing to me how far back we are in technology. Even though we have phones over there, like people they don't know. Like the only thing they know how to do with the phone is use WhatsApp and use Messenger to call you and ask for money.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
anything else, they don't know how to do and put themselves out there. We did go around to a couple of shops just to see what the people know, and I mean the local mechanics don't really know too much, but the one thing we noticed about them, they were very eager to learn.
Right.
They didn't know, oh no, you do it like this. Like they were tuned in. I'm not a technician, but Melvin is a technician. So
Mm-hmm.
everywhere we went to like probably like 3 or 4 shops. I think he went to another one day when I wasn't around to help Pam out.
Uh-huh.
But every one of them that he was showing different things, like they were tuned in, they were locked in, and they were ready to learn. So that
Okay.
lets me know that that's a very important trait to have if you're willing to learn. So it lets me know that the people over there, they are willing to learn. They just don't have the knowledge, and I guess they don't know how to find that knowledge. But we're definitely planning on opening up a shop over there, and we're planning
Mm-hmm,
on
mm-hmm.
bringing that equipment over, those scanners and those tools. And we even wondered too why there was a lot of like older equipments. Like I'm looking into sand trucks, and all the sand trucks over there like 1996, 97, 98. So we're asking some of the dealers like, why you guys only have older stuff? And they pretty much had to break it down to us like, well, because these older ones, you can just change the parts easily. You can change this, you can change this. Once it goes over a certain year, then you need the scan tools, you need the right computer.
Right.
So then it made sense. Something so simple, um, it just took a little explanation for us to understand that, oh wow, okay, they're sending the older stuff because they can easily fix these things. That's why it's not a good idea for y'all to be sending over those 2017, 2018 cars and trucks. It's not a good idea. I've seen a lot of people get burnt. You're gonna take it to the Lebanese, and they're gonna I mean, they're gonna charge you crazy, ridiculous prices. So send your older cars that everybody can work on. Send the cars that are available in the country, like the Hondas, the Toyotas. Don't send these Volkswagens. Don't send these
Bands.
Dodges. Benz. Oh no, that's a big no. Even in America, yeah, if you don't got a warranty on one, you don't want to mess with it. So every time I go back, I'm learning something. I'm learning, and it's sticking with me, and I'm coming back, and I'm using that to plan for the future. So now I know these things. Now I know why there's a lot of old equipment and old cars,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what they can actually work on. If you bring something newer, they might not be able to work on it. Your brand new sand truck got one issue. You're gonna call that one Lebanese in the whole area who got the right computer, and he knows he's the only one in the whole
Yeah.
area. Oh, he gonna smoke you.
I'm gonna smoke you and charge you a lot. You don't want.
Ridiculous prices. So yeah,
Oh,
we're trying to get in that too, so we can start charging those ridiculous prices. No, charge them. When we see
wow.
the Indians and Lebanese, charge them ridiculous prices. Flip
So
the
you're gonna
script
go
around.
over there and charge ridiculous prices too?
No, not to the Liberians. I'm saying we're gonna charge the Lebanese and the Indians ridiculous prices.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, this is your first time going back. This is the second time, right?
First
Second
time,
time.
yeah.
Okay. What do you say to those who are saying, or perhaps who just have this nagging feeling of, oh, I don't want to go back. It's not safe, nor is it beneficial financially for me to go and do business over there. Like, and this is obviously can be based on your experience, based on your observation, or what you know.
So to first address the safety issue, like I live in Atlanta, people get shot and killed over here every day. You can't tell me that Africa is not safe, and I live in Atlanta. Like literally, like 2 weeks ago, like somebody got shot like at one of my locations, and I didn't even know about it. And I came the next day. Regular environment, nobody even cares. It's such a normal thing over here.
Mhm.
So uh, gun violence is crazy in this country. It's getting way worse. It's spiked ridiculously. So when I'm back home, I really like I don't fear. I don't fear for my life. I know people know that I'm not from around there, but like if you live in an inner city, like I live in Atlanta, like no, these are different levels of criminals over here. So when I'm over there, I'm not really like, I'm not too worried. I wouldn't say go put yourself in a predicament
Right.
where people are gonna target you. But at the same time, when I'm going out and I'm walking around and stuff, I'm not like, oh man, this gonna happen. Like, no, I live in Atlanta. Like, at any time you can go to a gas station and get robbed, they can steal your car, carjacking, they can kill you for your watch, your jewelry, like, you know. So a lot of my plans to develop and stuff is to actually get myself out this equation. While other people, they're thinking, okay, we're getting away, we're coming over here in America where it's safe. Like, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say you're safe over there. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe if you live in a different part, but if you live anywhere near inner city, I mean, violence is like at a peak, gun violence is at a peak, and everybody has guns over here. And a lot of people have mental disorders, and they will shoot you quick, very quick. So I don't feel like no, yeah. I don't feel like when people over there like, oh no, we're scared, we're scared. Like a lot of times people approach me more like curious, like, okay, you coming back? Like, where you from in America? Like, they're more like curious. I never feel like I never ever once felt like threatened or anything. And I be out there. A lot of times people go and they're in the whatever, the Ramada Inn, wherever hotel you're living. Like, no, I be out there. Like, I be in the city. Like, I don't. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I don't really be scared. So, but I get why y'all be scared. I guess not really, but for the most part, it's just it's love. It's a lot of love. I feel more love than hostility, and I feel more like people like curious, like interested in seeing what we're working on, what we're doing. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where, you know, and I went to some places where I asked you about, like, hey, what about this place? And you like, oh, nah, that place, the ghetto don't go there. Well, I mean, hey, we were over there. We were like, hey, I didn't know. I just walked in and just walked around.
There you go. You know, you experience that by yourself.
Yeah. Even you're in the club, the light go out. Oh, I mean, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Yeah, that's that's a good question. Okay, so yeah, you know, people want to go back to Liberia, but they have this fear, and I also see others wanting to start a business, but then they also have it's almost like a fear of a fear of the unknown, right? I don't know how to really say, but more so, I tell people always is that you have to go back home. You have to go to Liberia and see, get on the ground, and also stop comparing the U.S. to Liberia. I think I see that often. What is your own assessment?
So I feel like a lot of people underestimate business. They think that if anybody goes back to Liberia, let's say with 10,000, 20,000, even $30,000, they think just because you have that sum of money, it equals success.
Right.
I don't think that's the issue. It doesn't matter if you're doing business in America or Liberia. There's certain fundamentals that you need to research and understand. And some of these things, I mean, you're going to fail in the short term before you experience success. So a lot of people come to me and they tell me that, like, oh, I'm gonna go open up my shop in Liberia. I'm gonna be selling this. I'm selling that. And I asked them, well, have you ever ran a business? Have you ever done any kind of business in your life? And they're like, oh no, but I'm gonna go back home and do it. So I think a lot of people just underestimate business as a whole. They just feel that if anybody have $20,000, they can be a successful businessman. But that's just not the case. You need to master certain things. Like, first, if you got your business money, that's not your money you're gonna be living off. So if you go back to Liberia with $20,000 and you're planning on paying your rent, your bills, and doing business with all that, it's just not going to work. You need a lump sum of money that you're going to be reinvesting into that business, just like if you were in the United States or UK or anywhere else. So I think people just underestimate business as a whole, and they just don't do enough research. They don't get their mindset right. A lot of these things is a mentality thing. They don't know how to work with people. They don't know how to manage employees. They don't know how to do any of these things, but they figure that somehow if they get 40 or 50,000, they're going to go back to Liberia and they're going to become successful. And I think that's the biggest downfall, because I ask people that all the time. They're like, oh man, I want to go back to Africa, but I need $30,000 before I go back because I want to do this business. So I asked them, like, do you do business over here? Have you ever done this business before? And they're always like, no. Like, if you've never ran a store, and you don't understand overhead, you don't understand your return on investment, You don't understand, supply, demand, what your competitors are doing, how you can have an advantage. You don't know any of these things, but you just think you're going to go over there and do it. And then when you do it and you fail, then you tell somebody else not to do it. Like, oh, no, don't do that. But the truth is, I mean, generally speaking, business is not easy. When you make it to a certain point where you establish certain systems, then it becomes easy. But nobody said it was easy starting off. There's so many obstacles, and even a lot of them I probably don't know because I've never done business in Liberia. But as I start to do business in Liberia, I know how to navigate. I know how to learn from those experiences. And I know that's not going to define me for the long term. And I know I'm going to learn from that. I'm not going to make that mistake again. And I'm going to move forward. So I'm not expecting to just take some money and everything go my way. Like, I think when people have this expectation, they're just in for a rude awakening. And then they go and tell others not to do it. But the truth is, you just didn't do enough research. You wasn't willing to fail in the short term. You wasn't willing to learn. You wasn't willing to even learn the business fully. Like the business you talk about doing, have you even done research? Have you spoken or spoke to somebody who is currently doing that business and seeing what's working for them, what's not working for them? So they're really not doing any of these things. They just think they're going to go back to Liberia and become successful. So that's the biggest misconception. If you can approach it with that kind of respect and willing to do it in the long term, then yeah, I think there's so many business opportunities in Liberia. There's so many things that's lacking, so many things that people don't have. I mean, there's a lot to do to make money over there, honestly, but it's not saying that everybody can be successful. It's only for the people who are willing to put in the work and, just learn the fundamentals of those things. And that's where I see the biggest issue is with Liberians going back and doing business.
Yeah, the failure rate is so high, and then people come back and say, "Oh well, that country doesn't work for me, business doesn't work for me," and I think they forget the fundamentals and learning from those who are already well experienced. I got an email from the president of Blue Crest this morning, and he said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about a project I want to start in Nimba to add to the Blue Crest list for courses to teach." And he's reaching out to me, and I'm thinking, this guy is so well experienced. Why is he reaching out to me? But then he discussed with me about another element. That's why he tried to contact me to consult with me. Now, these are already well experienced people contacting to add up to what they already know. These are Indian people. But what I observe with our people, the moment they experience some level of failure, they leave. Oh, Liberia is not good. Oh, I don't want to go do business in that country. Oh, these people are so crazy. It's like, okay, but what did you expect going into the business that you try to establish? Instead of saying Liberia is not good for business, my recommendation to people always is, perhaps I started this business, I didn't do well because of X, Y, and Z. Let me reassess to see even if that's something I want to go into, or this is something I understand. Is this something that I plan appropriately for? Did I even budget for 6, 7 months into the business? Do I know I'm going to have an affordable loss? These are some of the things that people miss. And then when they go home and they feel miserably and they just give up and spread bad news about the country, not so much so of, oh yeah, I didn't work out because I did poor planning.
Exactly.
And it's sad because others can actually take these feedback and then say, yeah, I would never go to Liberia. I would never go over to develop. That place is not secure. My investment's not secure. All people steal. Everybody steal. But that's your experience. You need to assess what you did wrong, what risk that you took. Perhaps you should have reassessed.
Right.
So,
But have they even looked up the business failure rate in America? Like, majority of businesses fail in America. I mean, worldwide. It's not just Liberia. But
right.
I'll show you a real example right here. A conversation I was just having with my friend, even just recently last week. So his mom want to go back to Africa, and she want to do business, all that. But her problem is she has so many siblings that try to get money off her, and she cannot say no. So
Oh,
yeah, so she want to go back to Africa and do business, but you can't say no. Have you ever seen a successful business person that cannot say no? I mean, that's failure right off the bat. You make your $5, you make your $10. Instead of reinvesting it, Here comes sister and brother kids with all their problems, and here you go dishing out the money. Now you back the next day, you don't even got enough money to resupply your shop or whatever it
Right.
is, and you like, oh, that's not working. But you can't even say no to your family, and you think you're going to be a successful business person. Like, these are the examples right here. So if you hear somebody giving you a sad story about why their business didn't work, I mean, really assess the situation. Don't just listen to everything that somebody's saying and take it for what it is. I mean, assess it. Look at the person. Are they somebody who looks like they can actually have some success? Some people walking around here, they can't even pay their credit card, their car note on time. I mean, if that's the kind of person telling you, oh, this business didn't work, then don't think that's going to be you. So business is inherently risky. That's why a lot of people trade their time for money. A lot of people don't engage
Yes,
in
I do
business because it is risky. America has a high rate of failure. You might
it.
see a shop open right now. By next year, that thing will be closed down. I see
Yeah.
it all the time. It's so normal that it don't even surprise me no more. And sometimes I can even call it. It's a game I play to myself. When I see a shop open, I'm like, I give him till next year. He's out of here. Not really. I'm like,
It's
wait,
true.
we're doing this, that. This person has it right here for cheaper. Yeah, nah, this dude's done. And really, like, I be calling, like, or sometimes I'm like, what's your rent? What's your insurance? Like, I'm doing, what's this? Oh, hell no. Are you crazy? But for them, it sounds like a good idea. They're going to do it. So I would say educate yourself into being a business person. Respect the game. If you think anybody that can have $20,000 or $30,000 can be successful in business, then you're not giving credit to the people who are actually successful in business. All the things they went through, all the failures, the learning, losing friends, family, you're not giving them enough credit if you think just by having 20,000 that you can go and be successful. So I think it's more a mentality thing. You need to change your mentality before you try to engage in some kind of business. So another issue also, Africans can be selfish. They're having success in a certain business, they want to keep it to themselves. They think it's a treasure. No, I'm not going to tell nobody. Hey, where you getting this stuff from? So I can. No, no, no. I'm not going to tell this person. If I tell this person, they're going to go and buy it, and then they're going to be my competitors, and they're going to go and tell this person. You know what I mean? People do that all the time. Even they come here in
It's
America
true.
and do it too. They don't want to tell anybody else what they're doing. So they're not even thinking, man, we need more people coming back to this country. Let me show these people. Let me find some success in
Yeah.
this, and let me teach others. Right? Like they say, teach a man how to fish. Something
Hmm.
like that. They don't want to teach you how to fish. They want to sell you fish for the rest of their lives. So that's another issue too in our community.
It is. It is. It is a very sad issue. This is mainly across the farming community in Africa, and I've observed this. Ghana, both Ghana, Liberia, Rwanda, where I do businesses. The farming community, the agriculture community, they don't share. And Liberians are not even better with that. When you ask somebody for info, like even some information about workshop, they can't tell you that there's a workshop going on. Because the thing is, if you do, you become a competition to them. The thing is, the economy does not thrive without competition. Do you understand? And so, how are people going to open more farms if they don't even have some of the tools that will help them to run their farms? And so, what I see is people hold on to info. Librarians are so notorious for this. Oh, if I tell Emma how this works, oh my God, I'm going to lose customers. Instead of saying, if I tell this person another store will be open to empower and hire more people, it's more so, oh no, I don't want her to be my competition. And that's why I sit on this channel always and I tell you guys about agriculture, how you can reach the World Bank, how you can apply for grant, who you can hire, who you can call. Because at the end of the day, I already know my strategy. I know my strategy, and if, of course, if you want the strategy, I can give it to you. But not everyone can be successful based on the strategy that I use. You don't know how I had to go and revamp my business plan. I had to modify a few things. I had to rehire. I had to retrain. I had to send somebody to this country to go and train. And then you decide that, okay, I would do X, Y, and Z and still don't plan, don't follow up. Recently, somebody called me and said, hey, I started a poultry farm, but all my birds died. And I said, oh, really? How much did you lose? And then one into saying, oh, I started with 400 and all of them died. I don't understand. And I said, did you hire a vet? Oh, I was supposed to hire a doctor? Are you kidding me? So you don't know that they have animal doctors, right? You don't understand that you're supposed to hire a veterinarian for your farm. You just decided to buy birds and open a poultry farm, and now you're gonna take a big L because of that. But yeah, just coming back to that, people are just so fearful of sharing info. It's across our community because the fear of competition. I want to be the only person. That's why you see people work together by themselves, and you see the failure rate even across that more. They don't have the funding for it. They don't even have the collective effort to push the business forward. It's very rampant in our community, and I think um, Liberians need to start shaping their mindset to okay, collective sometimes is even more better than doing things individually.
Right.
Um,
And also that's another example of not even doing your due diligence. You invest all that money into 400 birds. You
yeah,
didn't even take the time to consult with somebody who's already doing it. That's what we just spoke about. Another thing I want to touch on here that's very important for everybody listening. When you go ask your family members, do they know about this business? These are people that any money that touches their hands is a positive to them.
yeah,
They're never gonna tell you no, they don't know it. They know how to do everything. They can build
yeah,
house, they can do farm, they can do anything you tell them, they're gonna say, yeah, 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 we can do it because they want that money coming into their hands.
exactly,
You
exactly.
gotta stop listening to your family and consult with the right people. I know there was a time where I was even asking you about poultry and some of the things you had told me because somebody mentioned a poultry to me before. I mean, not only one person, a lot of people. Like,
Mhm.
man, poultry's good, poultry's good. Obviously, people don't know anything about it. So I know I consulted with you one time. We talked about a few things. So I asked one of the other guys, well, do you know that like even just how your chicken coop is faced, like what direction it's faced, how important? Oh, nah, we didn't know that. Oh, okay, yeah. But you want me to send my money over there so you can do what? Kill my 400 birds? See, that's another example of not doing due diligence. Before I even think about even doing stuff like that, obviously I'm going to get people that know how to do the job, know that definitely that's done it before, that's having some kind of success. And this is from my experience in business because I failed a lot, even to this
Mhm.
day.
Yeah, of course.
I continue to have failure, but I learned, and that's one of the things I learned. So even one of the books for somebody, for you guys watching who want to get into business and think about getting into business in Africa, but you've never been involved in a business, never ran a business or anything like that. One of my favorite books is The Richest Man in Babylon. He shares a lot of rules in there, and when they talk about money, they talk about it in terms of gold. But it's the exact same. Money has not changed from the invention of money till now. It's exactly the same. So, richest man in Babylon, and he talks about these things. Like there was an example in there where the saddle maker gave his money to some kind of shepherd to go and buy precious jewels to bring back to Babylon and sell. Well, the shepherds went and bought the jewels, but the jewels he bought wasn't even that valuable.
Right.
So when he went to consult with a rich person, when he went to consult with the richest man in Babylon, the guy asked him, before you invested in these jewels, did you consult with somebody who knows about jewels? No, you gave it to the saddle maker to go buy jewels. How smart is that? So that's the same example. You sending money to your family in Liberia that don't know anything about farming because they tell you that yes, farming is great. Oh yes, everything is great. They're yes machines. Yes. So when you send that money, boom, gone. Magic disappears. You see? And then you go tell the next person, farming sucks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense. Start doing your due diligence. Start researching. Start educating yourself. Start reading books. Start watching YouTube. Attending seminars. That start changing your mind so that when you go to Africa to try to do business, you can know where to start. But that's one big mistake that I see a lot of people make is trusting family with money. Those people, they know if they tell you no, they don't know how to do something, you're not going to send money. Why would they tell you something that goes against what they want? They want you to send the money. Anything you say, they're going to say, yes, we know how to do it. But don't risk your money. If you work hard for that money, you got to treasure that money. So don't be just sending it over here. Do your due diligence. Get with people who's already doing it. If I ever thought, well, not ever thought, when I do get into the poultry business, of course, I'm going to be consulting with you. And I'm going to pay you for your time. That's another thing people don't want to do. They don't want to pay people. They want everybody to just sit and talk to them for free. Like what we're doing right now. We're giving out free information, right? Because there's a motive behind that. We want to uplift the country. That's our motive. But usually I won't sit around and talk for a couple of
Oh
hours.
yeah.
Like I got better stuff to do with my time. But if I'm trying to get some knowledge out of you, or I'm trying to benefit out of your knowledge, I'm going to make sure you're getting something in return. People get offended by that. Africans get offended by that. If you say, "Oh, Emma, can you help me with this poultry business?" and you say, "Okay, there's my fee for consultation." "Oh, what the hell? Who you think you are? You about to tell
Oh
me?"
yeah, oh yeah.
"Oh, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna send it to my family member. He told me he knows how to farm." See that? You making all the wrong moves. Educate yourself.
Yeah, that's that. Like you said, and I hate to say, this is across this is across most family members in Africa. Period. In Liberia. Period. Um, they will never tell you no. I don't know how. It's always, yeah, I can do it. Oh, this is a cheaper option. This is such a cheaper option. It's so funny because recently we were building a house. We're supposed to build a house for somebody, and we give the quote to the individual, and she said, "Oh yeah, I work with you guys." And then her brother said, "No, no, 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 no. I can find a cheaper contractor." So I said, "I wish you well. I think you should go with a cheaper contractor. Everything would be cheaper for you." The next thing I heard, the guy says, "Shovel, shovel, shovel that you dig in, to get sand, whatever." He told her that the shovel was $25. So she came to ask me. So I said, I don't, I don't want to talk about prices because the contract is already given to a contractor. I don't want to interfere. But what's your call about? "Oh, is it true that shovel is $25?" And I said, "Please go to the store and go and ask." She did, and she came back. She said, "Oh my gosh, shovel is $8." And I said, "Oh, so $8, subtract $25 from 8, okay? And tell me how much your relative took from you. $17. You go figure." And now she's so puzzled, but at the end of the day, we are very booked. We can't work with people, but these people over here in the diaspora, right? They don't understand what's happening there. And of course, I'm not against you doing anything with your family members, but when you try to go that route, you need to do your own due diligence before you even go that route. It's not a discouragement. You can work with people. Family is actually a good thing. I have a big family. I just don't work with my family because, first of all, I don't want someone to take me to court, or I take my family to court. Anything that they do wrong, when I work hard for my money, I'm gonna take you to court, and I just want to avoid that. So first, I don't work with family members because of that, and two, they're always gonna say you are always gonna be my family, but they don't understand how hard you work for your money. So these people back home will tell you, yes, this business work, but my advice to all of you is do your due diligence, do research, contact people. Surprisingly, I work with Lebanese. Let me tell you, I sit on this channel all the time. I tell you Lebanese on this, Lebanese on that. What I do, I try to gain more knowledge from them because they work well in Liberia. I'm sorry, they work well in most African countries. And so if they have a formula that I need to learn, I'm sorry, I have Lebanese people that I work with. To just gain what it is that they're doing good in the country or wherever they do business, for me to be able to elevate my business because this is how I feel like I can move forward. So don't be ashamed to contact somebody or to even perhaps pay for somebody's meal and say, "I would like to take you to dinner. Can you share more idea?" Or perhaps this is this and take this fee for you so you can give me more knowledge and so you can arm yourself and start to do your businesses. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed to even pay somebody to gain something. I always tell people, even if you pay somebody $5,000, that knowledge could even be more than $5,000. You can gain more from that than not.
Yeah.
So
I mean, people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for masterminds.
right,
So, like, I don't understand. But sometimes you just gotta use some common sense. You're gonna send money to your family member who they don't make $100 a month, but you're gonna send $1,000 to
yeah,
go buy materials and do all these other things. I mean, that part just doesn't make sense either.
I know.
Like,
I get
what
blown
you
away all the
expect
time.
them to do? Like, not have money but take all your money and go build your house? Like, it just doesn't make sense. If I was in that position and not having no money, I mean, I probably wouldn't. I would try to be building myself up, build my person as a person of value. So I personally wouldn't. But the majority of people in the country, they don't think like that. They're like, "Oh well, this person got it. I can take this off the top." And then two, how many stories have we heard of people even shorten the cement and water mixture? They want to stretch it out so
Yep.
far. When you build your house now, next year the walls are cracking, or like you're all kind of horror stories. So,
Horror
my words
stories.
of advice: mess with somebody who got something to lose. Like if you got somebody who got some stuff going on, they got their businesses, they're not trying to rip you off to make money. But you
Right.
send your money to somebody who has nothing, who probably lives in a zinc house, who doesn't have electricity, and you thinking they're gonna be the honest one, like I'd rather pay the other person a little bit more because I know that person has something to lose. That person's running the business, than sending the money to my family. You know, if you want your family to keep an eye on things, but I mean,
Right.
I'm going to be listening to what they're saying. Obviously, they're going to try to sway you in their direction. So just be very careful with family. I like how you approach it with not involving your family in your business.
Yeah.
I do think that's the best way to just keep the peace. So yeah, sometimes you guys just got to use a little common sense. I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but common sense isn't so common.
Yeah, for sure. Sure, comments is not always common. So let's read some comments up here and see. Okay. Hi, love. Okay. I just listened to the beginning. I think their citizenship will help the country with development and bring more jobs. The debate is 50-50 in terms of that. Some people are leaning, they see this on a very small scale, that people within the diaspora will go and take their government jobs, which honestly is 2%. So people have that fear, and then also when it comes to land ownership, people also do have a big fear that non-Liberians will be owning properties. Again, that's a different conversation that I would like to have, of course, later on. But I don't know. I don't think that's the case. Hello, Liberian TV. I will build if we Africa will build if we talk. What does that mean?
I think it means if we have more of these conversations that we're engaging in. Um, when I go back over there, I try to. I mean, I think we need to encourage creator environment for people to start creating
Okay.
content. Everybody's walking around with phones, and for some reason they think they're too good to put a video on YouTube or something like that. It's like it blows my mind. Like YouTube is, you know, one of the best things we have at our disposal nowadays. I mean, look at the war in Ukraine. We're watching that, and we know exactly what's going on off
Right.
videos, off live feed, off people submitting cell phone footage. Like, imagine how World War II would have been if everybody would have had a cell phone.
Right.
Imagine, like, that war wouldn't have lasted that long. I know it's a little off topic, but these cell phones are very powerful. Um, if more people were filming content, just everyday stuff in Liberia, and just filming their lives, filming what people go through, I would be tuned in. I would
But
be
yeah,
tuned
but look at countries like and I tend to give example to these countries because I'm heavily involved, Rwanda and Ghana. If you think about the cleanest city in Africa, you think Kigali, Rwanda. One of the method, or one of the best thing that the president has ever done for that country was to remove negative images from the internet about Rwanda and the genocide and everything that has happened. So when you go on there, you see the cleaner city, you see all these things, and more visibility. Liberians in Liberia can do the same thing. Going to development sites and showing what is actually happening is showing a lot of visual images to people who otherwise didn't even know what, to find, or perhaps have not gone back to Liberia. So take out your phone. It's very essential to the content. It's very essential to what it is that you're trying to display, because right now when you Google Liberia, you still see pictures from the war, pictures from Ebola. It's just all over the place. But if we can saturate the net with all this content that we're creating, what do you think that does for the country? So I believe people over there can play a big role when it comes to this development that we're talking about all the time.
Yeah, so I think that's something that maybe in the future we should even try to encourage, like um maybe start with the younger generation, because it feels like now when you talk to people that's older in Liberia, you tell them, hey, just start filming, just upload some of these videos on YouTube. They're looking at you like, well, okay, what's that? What did I do? But you don't know. Like people over here in the diaspora, like they're really, really interested. Like I watch a lot of those like a lot of people, they're not really like content creators, but they film, and it's a lot of older people, surprisingly, that's going back
Yeah,
to Liberia, and they're posting these videos. These people are older,
the
like
hell.
50s, 60s. It's really surprising. But I watched some like I like the more like vlog types, like the raw stuff. Like this lady was she was filming, and their road was so bad coming to their compound that they had to walk to a certain location to get rice and little stuff like that. So they would make that walk, and you can see the muddy road. The rain season tore the road up. There's little kids that's getting water for other people, and she like, "What y'all doing out here? What y'all doing out here in the rain?" And like, "Oh, we're bringing water for this person, whatever." How much they paying you? Oh, $100, $100 like that. Like,
That's
oh,
even
okay.
less than $1 US. That's
I said,
hilarious.
yeah. So she like, in this rain, they got no shoe on. She's like, y'all just go home. I'll give y'all $1. I'll bring it to y'all. I'll give y'all $2. Y'all just go home. So little stuff like I'm like, damn, these kids out here fetching water in the rain for other people who don't want to leave their compound. They just send little kids in the rain, no shoes. So, you know, you don't really like to visualize to see it. I mean, those little footage, like it goes a long way. It could change somebody's mind. It can get somebody involved. So starting to creator content in Africa is very important. It's starting to catch on in America. Now all these kids, they're making YouTube videos, they're playing with their toys, little dumb stuff. But imagine if kids were out there filming their lives, like, okay, I'm going to get this water. I got to take it home. My family, we don't have electricity. I mean, not only can it change their lives, but it can help us change their lives.
Exactly,
So
be more
creator
involved.
content,
Be more involved, yeah. Content creation. I mean,
yeah.
I'm proud of those who are actually taking the initiative to vlog and show more of what it is Liberia has to offer. Also, like showcase of Liberia, Angeline, Loretta. Some of these people are actually doing well to make sure things are more visible. Okay, so okay, Celia, let's see what she's doing. Hi, Celia. How are you? Yeah. What? I don't know what she means though. I don't know if there was that to your point. She said even the people that do tend to be worse at times.
Yeah, I don't really know. I guess that's the hot topic, dual citizenship. So I guess I will check your video out when you make that. I'm excited for it. It feels like people in Liberia, the people who haven't been to America or who haven't had that opportunity, they look at people in diaspora with, I don't know, it's just like a certain spitefulness. Like they don't see you as one of them. They like, oh, you coming back here? Why don't you go back to your home? Like these things don't help the country. You should be encouraging people to come back.
I think Liberians in the diaspora and Liberians on the ground, some of them are at war with each other.
I don't
And
know why.
unnecessarily, there's this competition of I'm better because I'm from the U.S. And then there are the people back home are saying, okay, you have it all, and I don't, and I envy you. Instead
Right.
of all of us thinking collectively to say, we are all Liberians. I think that's the first thing. We need to approach it as we are all Liberian at the end of the day, whether you go to the you go to space, whatever, you are still like by the end of the day. And so going home and for some reason changing the way you've been in the US just to feel important or better than others, I think that is a very unacceptable thing. I've seen people leave from here, start to talk to those at the airport, like very in a very derogatory way. You people are so stupid here. That's why this country doesn't move forward. Very unnecessary. Like
Right.
very,
Right.
very. If somebody asks you for money at the airport, which many times people have asked me, "Oh, my sister, I don't get." I just joke about it. I say, "My sister, I broke, oh, I do broke, man," and I just, and I just go by my business. But just coming and saying, "Oh my God," because somebody have asked you for $1, oh, you're so stupid in this country. Oh, they are asking people for money. What is wrong with you? And it's interesting though. In Ghana, they do the same thing, but more on a quiet level. They don't say, "Hey, madam, can I have 500 CDs? Oh, sis, can you tip me?" It's the same thing. And instead of me saying, "You know what, this Ghanaians are foolish," I say, "Oh, me pacho, me I don't have." It's just as simple as it is. There's no reason why we should live here and then change ourselves into other people that we are not. And then people back home over there, have this thing, like I said, they see us as we are in the land of opportunity and they don't have it. And so there's a level of envy going on there. And so that, I mean, that's what I've seen. That's my experience. But how do we really bridge the gap between people in the diaspora and people in Liberia so we can all work together to
Yeah.
make this a collective effort? Is the question.
The more people, when people start coming back more, I feel like that will start withering away, because I'm not gonna lie, people don't come back to that country, and we know
Right.
that. And we know people trying to get out of there right now, and they're like, if we can just get out of here, like, we're not coming back. So I feel like the people who stay in Liberia, that's why they're somewhat spiteful to those people that leave and don't try to come back to contribute or none of those things. And honestly, I'm gonna put it out there, like, when people leave Liberia and they come to America, especially America, UK and stuff is not that bad, but I'm not fond of the people they become. I don't like what America does to people. It
But do you
takes
think it's America though? Because my grandma always told me that. She says, Emma, you have not changed because you met America how America is. Okay, America has always been America. You've come to the country, adapt to everything that's happening in the country, and then you decide to take a different trajectory, be on a different trajectory. A lot of Liberians don't actually go home. We tend to forget where we came from. But when you take a look at Nigerians, Ghanaians, Kenyans, these people understand that I came here because it's a land of opportunity. First of all, let me get my coins, let me get my money, and let me go back home and build my mansion, even, or perhaps start a business and see it more on a broader level. But we, like, some of us, we come in and say, you know what, I made it. I'm in America, the greatest country on the planet. I don't know what is Liberia again? And we pretend, and either we just don't know where we came from.
Mhm.
And to give back to the country becomes such a headache and such a problem that it's troubling. But that's not how we change. Well, the country that we want to see, we have to be the change. We have to be willing to go home. We have to be willing to put something there. We have to be willing to say, you know what, I'm going to volunteer at a school. I'm going to take my knowledge to kids. We have to be willing to go back more. Like I said, I see more Nigerians go home. I see more Ghanaians go home. We
Yeah,
can do the same.
right. Yeah. So what I meant was, like, people they come over here and um, they try to be American. They try to fit in and just live how Americans live. But people in America didn't they wasn't born, they're not from one of the poorest countries in the world. So you have to move different and you got to strategize different. And I think uh, um, one of those things is they come over here and they just, from the minute they leave, they never plan on going back. Most of
Mhm.
them, they're like, oh man, I made it out. Like, hey, good riddance. Like, I'm done. So I think that's why people even back home have that spitefulness. They're like, man, once they make, it's almost like you just escape, like you escape a prison, and like you just out, you just forget about everybody else. Um, Liberians are notorious for that, but then I mean, I guess when people come over here when they're younger too. I think for me, I was lucky enough that I was born in Liberia, even though I didn't grow up in Liberia. I grew up in different parts of Africa. I didn't come to America until I was 9 years old, but I never really thought about going back. It wasn't something that was instilled in me, like, hey, come here, take advantage of opportunities. Like, it's something that I was older that I started thinking about. What my life would have been like if war never would have happened. I know my mom would not have left Liberia if war would not came to Liberia. I know that for a fact. So a lot of that was just thinking what my life would have been like if I never left, and sparked that curiosity. But most people, like the Liberians I know over here, like they don't never talk about going back. Like if they do go back, it's just a quick visit, like in and
Yeah,
out. Like, I'm gone.
yeah.
It's never to like, yo, let me try to do this. Like how we're talking about different problems that the country has and how to address those problems. Um, I never had that conversation with anybody that I know personally from Liberia.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I see it. I hate to always compare, but I like to compare because it helps me too. I see when people from other countries come here, they live together. not for like years, of course, right? But they live together. They say, okay, let me work, let me go to school, let me save up. A lot of our people come in and say, let me get my Mercedes Benz, let me get my apartment, let me get my mortgage. That well, not mortgage. A lot of people don't have mortgage. Let me get my luxury apartment. Let me get all of these things, and then they forget now. Maybe uh, throughout the day in Liberia, they only eat one time, and or maybe the road that will be heading to their houses doesn't even have it is not even nice. Or perhaps they have family members who can't even go to school,
Still
or
living
kids
in zinc.
who can't even go to school. They're still living there. It's so interesting how some of us we go back home and we see our grandmothers or parents living a zinc round, and we say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna visit my oma." And you go in there, you're like, and you're happy that your parents are in a zinc round. It's still very troubling. You leave a zinc round, you come to the U.S., you work, you gain so much here, and then you still go back and say, "I'm gonna visit my mom in a zinc round." And so I wonder too, like what is happening to us? What do we need to do in order to say, you know what, we have to do something about our country. We have to do something about the conditions that we find ourselves. Somebody said she wasn't encouraged to go back. Okay, let's see. They shouldn't go that
Yeah, I
way.
mean that's the overall aura. It's not very encouraging when you go back, when you speak to other Liberians. It's not very encouraging. So that's why when I find somebody who is doing the opposite, um, I'm drawn to that person. Try to see, like, how can we come together. And I think once we keep doing these lives, the more people showcase in Liberia, things they're doing, successful businesses. I think after a while, things will slowly start to change. But right now, I mean, there's a lot of negativity. So yeah, a lot of people did not encourage to go back. Um, so I mean, I don't blame you.
So to Celia point, let me see. She was saying, let's see. Okay, she said even the people that do tend to be worse at times. Yeah. Okay. She said this is in regard to giving your project to a poor person compared to a person who has money. So my point is they tend to be worse. So those who have money doing projects for others tend to be worse than poor people. That's her point.
Well, I didn't say give it to somebody who has money. Obviously, if the person is experienced, they know what they're doing. They have a business on the line. They have a reputation on the line. What I said was this person they have things to lose, um,
Mm-hmm,
as opposed to giving your money to somebody who doesn't even make $100 a month. So it's not just finding somebody who has money and just throwing it at them. Finding somebody, of course, that person has to have integrity.
right.
That's part of doing your due diligence. But if this person has a reputation and their name's on the line, I mean, they got a lot more to lose than the person you sending money to who doesn't even make $100 a month. What do they have to lose?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know?
That's a point. That's a good point to make. I don't even know what to say about that. I
Yeah.
don't even know what to
At the end of the day, you gotta make your own decision. But I mean, that's like that's like giving some, like, putting meat around a lion and telling that lion, yo, don't eat meat. Yo, just eat a tiny piece of the meat. Don't touch it. I mean, it's almost very hard. Like, put yourself in that position. If you wasn't seeing that kind of money, and I mean, what are you gonna pay that person you're sending the money to? You're gonna pay them what, a couple $100 a month? But if they
Mhm.
scrape off the top, like Emma just gave an example of a shovel. This person's making $17 profit on a shovel. Imagine
Yep.
how much they're taking for the bag of cement, the steel rods, the sand. Like, imagine how much they're taking off the top. Your $200 you're giving them per month, they already did the math. They can make way more. And this not even hearsay. You hear this story all the time. So
All the
that's
time.
that's just my philosophy. Like, why would you send the money to somebody who has nothing to lose? Literally, like, you're just
Right.
asking for your money to be eaten. And I'm in that same predicament. I got investments going on also, and I got people calling me every other day and telling me about this investment, do this, buy that. But those people are not doing that, and they don't know anything about that. So it just always goes back to the same thing. Like, if those people don't have money and it seems like you're trying to throw money their way, they're not going to tell you anything to discourage that. They're going to
But
encourage that.
these people, like to somebody's point here, these people are trying to survive. So, but what is the solution though? Because the thing is, I don't want to say it's not acceptable. First of all, it's not acceptable. But you see the situation that they're trying to survive, right? Um, I say this all the time whenever I go to Liberia. I say, you people are always about money, but I try to understand why they are always about money. These are people who don't even have anything to their names to even feed their families, right? So knowing all of this, what really is the solution? I always think about this. Is it that I need to be more involved in my project? Do I need to be back more? Do I need to find whether it's a company, I don't know, wherever it is. Like what are the solutions that we can talk about?
I mean, first, I mean, and one upside about dealing with somebody like a company that's not your family, you could easily scrap that, kill that relationship, start over. When it's your
Mm-hmm.
family, it's a lot more sensitive. Um, your grandma's gonna be calling you, your auntie gonna be calling you, oh, why you did this to this person, why you did that. It's just a lot more involved. If somebody's in charge of this construction, they're not doing a good job, they're whatever mismanaging the money, hey, boom, we're done. It's over.
Yep.
But a
Mm-hmm.
family member, I mean, oh, you stop sending money to this person can't eat that, they're gonna drag your name too in the process. So I guess my question to you is just why? Why would you even do that? Why would you put yourself in that position? It's not to do with who has less money or more money. If you're sending money to somebody who has no money and they're not a family member, that's a bigger question mark. Um, if you're sending money to your family that they don't have no money, that's a question mark. Also, it's not a smart thing, but a lot of people do that.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, due diligence, research. There's different companies doing different things, but that's why I think a lot more people need to do these lives and put it out there. Like, if you're working with somebody, you had a good experience, this person doing a good job, um, the results are great. I'd rather take a chance with that person than giving my family member who knows nothing about construction, handing them money. Like, you're gonna send this person $10,000, right? But this person sees $100 a month. Do you do the math and just add up that $10,000 is what they potentially make in 10 years? But you're expecting them to be loyal to you, somebody in
Mm-hmm.
America who they see as overprivileged, and those funds you're sending them could easily be replenished in their view. You could easily get that money back, but it's going to take them 10 years to make that money. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
You push it so hard, you almost can't blame them. I'm just putting it
Mm-hmm.
out there like that. You almost can't blame them for doing it. How could you? Like you said, they're in survival mode. Why would they not take off the top of your money? Stop
All
doing
right.
that.
So
Stop putting
so
yourself
so
in that.
the same person says we have to teach them how to look at the bigger picture.
That's Melvin. Not Melvin.
Melvin, hi.
I mean,
um,
and we talk about this all the time. We literally have this conversation all the time because we know people doing this very thing. So it's not speculative. It's not. We're not just coming out here just saying it for no reason. We're talking about things that is bringing the country down. You go, you send your money to your family that mismanaged the money. Now you're not sending no more money.
right.
Now that development that could have happened, would have happened, is not happening. Not only does it hurt you and you lose your money, it hurts the country. When hundreds and thousands of people do this very same thing, we go back to a country that only has cornerstones. So it's a much larger effect. We're not just talking about you and one family member. We're talking about reasons why the country is down. And these are
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons. You rather trust your family than doing your due diligence and hiring a company. You're gonna put money in your family hands, a large sum of money that they don't see in a very long time. It's just not smart. It breaks the relationship with your family. It makes you look like the bad guy, and at the end of the day, you don't even get what you want, which is a development.
But how many people keep their family accountable? How many of us will hire family members and make them accountable for whatever they do? We don't. Family members mismanage our funds. Okay, we're family, you're fired, but you have not solved the problem. It's like a wound you put a band-aid on, and that person's gonna do it to another family member, and it's just gonna grow and it's gonna grow and grow. But another thing that I've experienced though when it comes to working with family members, we don't want to even pay family members to do the work. We think that these people can just leave their houses, leave their families, and go do our jobs with no pay, no transportation, no internet, all of these things, and say, okay, go and help me. How do you expect them to navigate? How do you expect them to do things for themselves if you can't even pay them? This is just an easy example. In one of my videos, I talk about this where Emmanuel was saying that around my beach property, they've sold the land more than 3 times. The owners of the land sold those properties more than 3 times. And so I was very curious and I said, why are they selling the land more than 3 times? He said, the caretakers of all these lands, not once did the owner ever send money to say, hey, this is cold water, take cold water. So what that caretaker does, or those caretakers that were over there, what they did at the time, they left. And if they can't find anyone to ask who has this land or anyone present to do things that they're supposed to do, maybe brush the place and do every other thing, then they feel like the land is vacant. So these people, these caretakers said, well, if I'm not compensated, you don't even call to check on your property, you don't even call me at all, I have nothing to lose. You have everything to lose, because first of all, you think I'm here working for free. So I don't know why an individual would purchase a piece of property that is worth so much, right? And then refuse to pay somebody $50 a month to take care of it. So if you buy a property for $2,000, for example, but then to pay somebody $50 a month to take care of that property becomes a problem. I don't know. Like, I don't know what type of investment is that. Would you rather Would you rather go to court all day, lose your property, or pay somebody to look after your land? Or your I was still puzzled. I was like, what is going on with our people back there? And that's how a lot of people um, lost their land in Burrillville. That's how where my beach land is. Because you know why? At the end of the day, Emmanuel, he goes out there every weekend to go and check on the place. Do you think it's free because he works for me? No, it's not. So,
Right.
these are some of the things that I've observed across land ownership. This is a big problem in our country, and I just wanted to bring this up because it still bothers me up to this day that you will have somebody sit, watch your land, do everything else for you, and not even call them to say, hey, is everything okay? Are you okay? How's your family? Thank you for checking my land. I sent you cold water. It still bothers me why
Right.
we don't do those things.
Right. Or even if the people like uh they have any arguments against the road or how much they amount, they're not even thinking too that you're not even paying nobody to secure your land. Your land just sitting there. So you thinking about the cost to fix the road and do all these things, but how much are you paying to secure your land? Like, you know what I mean? I think it's the mindset. It always comes back to the mindset.
Yeah, it is.
So uh, maybe that's why people even in the country even get mad because they're like, okay, this person, like, you come back to see your land, you ain't paying this person nothing. This the
Yeah,
opportunity to even think of them to bring something back for them and say, hey,
they
here's this
don't.
phone or here's this charger, this phone charger, power bank, anything to show your appreciation. But
They
like
don't.
you act like they're just supposed to do it.
Yeah,
Mindset.
that's why they say, well, you think I'm here for free? I'm gonna tell them your land's for sale, and then people come in and wonder, oh my God, what happened to my land? Now, of course, that's another topic, but this is exactly what I observed in Brother, and that land, about 5+ acres,
Mm,
sold 3 times.
5 acres.
So 3 times beachland, and my little land is still sitting there.
Right,
But
right. And
it's
even when I
sad.
was
It's the
going back to,
mindset,
yeah.
huh?
And I was about to say, even when I go back, when I was going back, uh, I took some time to even call you and go down the list. Like, okay, who? Even though I don't know these people, who's everybody that's helped us out? Who's anybody that's done something for us? That's played a role in this? I'm gonna get this person this. I'm gonna get this person that. I've never even seen these people before. I don't even know these people, but I know that just that simple gesture shows that I appreciate them, which goes a long
Mm-hmm.
way because most people don't even do that. They just
No,
show
they
up and like,
don't.
oh, what's this? What's that? They're like nose and that's why I think people at home they kind of feel like people in America they think they're better than them. But when I come back, just the simple stuff like I'll go and I'll ask, hey, what do you need? You need some shoes? Like you need a phone?
Exactly.
Like I'm gonna bring it to you because you're helping me, and that'll actually encourage you to go over the top. Like, look at Emmanuel. Emmanuel goes over the
Yep.
top.
Yep. Over the top.
Yeah. So, like, imagine you just went back, you ain't got nothing for him. You was like, oh, Emmanuel, do this, do that, do that. Like, come on, that's crazy. Even when we was over there to meet Emmanuel, hey, Emmanuel got to get these documents. Boom, Emmanuel's there. He's everywhere. Anywhere you need him to be. Boom, boom. It don't even matter. He's there. So yeah, maybe that should show. That's teach you guys a lesson as you starting to build your team. You know, not only do you have to treat people like equals, but show your appreciation. It's not making you look like a sucker or anything like that. Because every time I go back, I mean, one of my suitcases packed with stuff. Like, even when I go to Sierra Leone, I got business going on over there. Like, I take stuff, I haul stuff across the border in my suitcase, and I go and bring it to these people because they know and they cherish these things more because they come from America. See, a lot of people over there too, they go and they like those fake shoes for $20. They go and buy those people. they go and buy them the fake shoes for $20. They give it to them. So the people know. They know the stuff from America. They got quality. They know if you think about them. So every time I go back, I got one suitcase that's filled with just things for them, just to show my appreciation, and that goes a long way. Like when I go over there, people they trying to like they lined up to help me out what they can do because they know if we do such a good job, this person in return will bless us. That's the better route than trusting this person and having them just take your money. So even just a lot of those things I learned from you. So I asked you when I'm going back, and even when I'm ready to go back again, the same people that's always on my list, Christopher, Emmanuel, and them. Every time I go back, I'm gonna bring them something because I know what they do for me over here. That's not something I take for granted. I treat them like equals. We go out, we eat together. I hate when people eat and give people leftovers. That's like another crazy thing people do. Like you eat your food, whatever's left, you just hand the plate to them. I'm like,
people do that all the time.
Come on, man. Like, nah, we treat these people like equals. Like, okay, yes, I know I'm in a better position, but my plan for you is as I move up, you move up with me. And if you show me you're trying to come up with me, I'm gonna take you up with me. So they fight for that. They fight to show you what they're capable of. So that's the better route instead of teaching them instead of treating them, I'm sorry, like they're kids or lesser than you or commanding them around. I'd rather take the approach that you take, and that's got me better results.
Yeah, I mean, people also have to start seeing doing business in Liberia or working in Liberia as they would do their jobs here. You stay at a job that offers you benefits, whether it's health benefit, an increase in salary, whatever it is, you stay at these jobs because they offer you so much. Your benefit that you offer these people in Africa is what you take for them. The amount you pay them per month, the asking them, hey, what would you like your benefit to be? Do you want me to pay your child's school fees? Whatever that is, that's the benefit you're providing to them. So why would they even leave all these benefits to do what exactly? To sit? People are more willing to work for you if you include benefits like such as what Stefan just said. Easy as, hey, what do you need? Oftentimes the man is like, you know what, Emma, I want some medication. Okay, great. What does your daughter need this month? Oh, school fees? Okay, I got it for the semester. Because at the end of the day, what he does for me is even more than what I'm giving him. So people have to change this mindset of, oh, the people in Liberia are just obligated to work for me. No, nobody's obligated to work for you. If you continue to have this behavior or this mindset, actually you're going to lose a lot in Liberia. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from things that I've learned, and every time I'm being educated about. Sometimes in some areas I pretend like I know absolutely nothing. I just pretend and I ask questions and I go within those places and try to find the best solutions possible to move my business forward, to perhaps move my agenda forward. But
Right.
just
And
thinking
also, I do that
ways.
with everybody too, not just people, even people that when I go over there and I meet them, like the place where we're staying over there at the apartments, the guys who they open the gate for us, just something so simple.
Right.
Guys, as soon as you pull up, they don't let you sit out there wait for them. As soon as you pull up, they come and open the gate. When I'm leaving, I gave these guys a Bluetooth speaker. Like I always bring extra stuff too for people that I might meet when I'm over there to show my appreciation. So these guys, they hang out in the boys' quarters, a little small security shed, and
Yeah.
they just sitting there with no music, just in silence, just looking around. I gave them a Bluetooth speaker. I said, hey, y'all use it while y'all play some more music, something when I'm leaving. So what do you think those guys gonna do next time they see me? They
Of
gonna
course,
like,
get it.
oh man, this guy like, and I heard I got it from somebody. I don't know where I got it from, but this rich guy, he says when he goes out, a lot of times he'll tip the waiter first before. It lets them know, it sets the standard of service you're gonna get. So you tip them. So even wealthy people, not because they have it, they know, they value what that gets for them.
Right.
So that always goes back to educating yourself. Because it's the same thing. When I go back, I'm looking to show them my appreciation. In return, they do better work for me when I treat them that way. Instead of trying to rule out of fear, like, oh, you do this, I'm gonna do that. Like you just get better results, like actually treating people like equals and showing them your appreciation.
For sure, for sure. Okay, Celia, she said integrity is the word, yeah, but yeah, your point is valid. And and it's important to do your research. I do price check behind my people. Good job, Celia. Good job, yes, good job. Price comparison, checking, counter checking, all of these things helps a lot. So I mean there are when you go to Liberia, what are some very visible issues that you see?
Um, I mean, I definitely don't like the lack of development. Um, like usually when I go to Liberia, I go to Sierra Leone too, and there is so much more development going on in Sierra Leone. I still haven't put my finger on it to see what's the difference between Liberians and Sierra Leoneans. We're just a few hours apart, just a simple border separates us. But the lack of development in Liberia is it's almost like there's so much nice prime real estate, like great looking locations, like you got nice trees, you got nice sceneries. I just don't understand why people are not coming back and building. Um, but I mean, there's supermarkets, stores. Of course, we know the cell phone situation, the internet, but that's a much higher issue to be solved. They got the internet locked down over there. People are paying for data, and even we didn't even know that if you subscribe weekly or daily, whatever internet you got left just goes away, vanishes. I'm like, man, what kind of
Wait,
robbery is
what
this
is Sierra Leone?
in Liberia?
Really?
Yeah, if you subscribe, I think somebody was telling if you subscribe either daily or weekly, it's like let's say you subscribe to like a daily. I don't know if it's daily or weekly, but you get a certain amount of data. Like after that time, whatever you don't use is gone. Like yeah, I gotta ask Melvin. He probably know a little better, but um, yeah. So those little things like those rich people, they got their hands in that tight. I don't know how we're gonna solve that problem. We should probably start with the smaller issues and work our way up. Um, cars, cars over there, cars to rent. Um, they're just not in good condition for affordable prices. Um, the Airbnb, the short-term rentals. I mean, for a country of that size, I mean, you might just see a few Airbnbs, not really that many. Such a crazy.
Not even up to standard. People do jobs over there that is just substandard work. You're renting an Airbnb where you could have a good return, but then you don't even fix your bathroom. You don't even change your decor. You don't even hire someone to clean. It's just I wonder what kind of business are these people running.
Right. Yeah,
So
so
not
those
that not only that they don't have a lot of Airbnbs, the standard is just so low.
right. I mean, even just on search results, when we were searching, I think I showed you a couple of them before you recommended me to the one we got, but there wasn't really that many options. Like you
Right.
would think, like if you put in a city like Monrovia, the options that should be popping up is just not there.
Mhm.
I think what you guys are doing with modern building, the country really needs that because all the houses look the same. They have these old style of buildings, and even people that's building right now, they're building like the old styles. So they're not looking to be innovative. They're not looking to be modern. They're just building the same old way. And something I really can't stand. I hate septic um, tanks in your compound that have to be sucked out. Like that get on my nerves. So I think, we got to try to be innovative. If you guys are going to build out there, and that goes hand in hand with getting somebody who knows what they're doing. Your family member ain't gonna tell you nothing about something they don't know. They're gonna tell you, yo, dig that septic. Yeah, we're gonna dig the septic.
Oh yeah, that just happened to my grandma. She called me and said, Emma, my house in Kawa. I said, Grandma, please don't do septic system. My grandma.
I literally saw it when the septic is past half capacity, it starts to smell. People pour bleach in there. They pour bleach in there. Like, do we not live in 2022? Like, why are we still doing that?
It's so funny because the other system, the newer system, bioseptic feedback system, it's actually cheaper.
Really?
Many people don't know that.
Yeah, because I've seen them digging the septic. They gotta fix it up like a pool. It's not just a hole.
Yeah.
They gotta put the little thing
It's
around.
a lot of material and space.
Yeah, I'm like, man, this a lot of work. But then you got like this big, like, you could tell if you go in a compound, like, you can tell it doesn't even blend in. It's like this big iron gate thing, and like, nope, you already know what's in there. You already know where everything is going. Another thing I hate too is seeing the same septic pipes running outside the houses. We've seen some like run around windows, like it goes down, it goes across the window, and we're like, and we've seen some like they run on the side of the house and they run on the ground. It's not even under the ground. Like you step over it to walk on the stairs. And these are like pretty decent looking houses. So we're like, why are people still building like this? Like we're confused. We never seen a septic tank. We never seen septic lines in our lives. So we're like, okay, does it have to be done like this? So I think that's another reason to work with somebody who has a track record of, you can see their work, you can see what they've done, the kind of buildings, and see if that's somebody you want to work with, as opposed to just blindly building and throwing your money out there. I even like what Levi does with the whole architectural drawing, 3D design. You see what you're getting. I think if you're gonna spend $100,000 on a house, you should be able to see what it looks like, what the outcome is before you start. Even if that costs you $500, $600, $700, for me, it's more than worth it, because what you're gonna get is you're only gonna see what it looks like once it's actually up. And whether you like it or not, I mean, that's what it is, especially if you're in America, or in the diaspora anywhere. So that's just another reason to work with people who have this track record. Even if it might cost you a little bit more, if you're talking about the cost to build a house and now material costs are so high, I mean, it just feels like it's worth it to take that extra step just to ensure that you're actually getting what you want. So there's so many more benefits to working with somebody who that's what they do, as opposed to sending money to your cousin to get 20 or 30 bags of cement at a time and doing all the crazy stuff. So I'm not a fan of the designs they do. I'm not a fan of the septic systems. I'm not a fan of orange data on the loudspeaker. And some of those kids be walking through the neighborhood. Nobody needs no orange data right here. Just blasting that stuff. Nah, I'm just playing. You never know who might run out and need some orange data. So I'm not gonna knock nobody's hustle. But yeah, a couple of those things I like to see us move away from. But definitely, we need more development. We need more houses up. We need more roads built. There's too much open land in that country. Too much beautiful land. Beautiful people. Great opportunities. And as we start to do these things, then we can start taking over the tourism sector again, because it goes hand in hand. The better the country
does, tourism sector.
The more people want to come back. Sierra Leone is actually on the tourism side. Like there's a one area where actually there's a main strip over there. I'm really like I don't know how they're doing it. I'm trying to do more research, but there's this strip that is so clean, and that's where a lot of the clubs are and restaurants. And
Oh
now
wow.
they're building little structures. Like they have this thing. It's this big sign. It says "I love Salome," and people go and they take picture over there. So that's almost like it's encouraging people to travel over there because you're taking pictures. It's like advertising. You're promoting the
Right,
country.
right.
Um, so they realize that they have this area, this beach area that I mean the roads are paved, there's sidewalks. I mean that's the main spot. It's called Aberdeen Beach. That's their main location in Sierra Leone, but they respect that area. A lot of places in Liberia, people don't they're not respecting it. They're throwing trash everywhere, which I hate. I hate to see it. Um, I saw somebody do it one time and like they threw a bottle out and I was like, yo, what the hell? Like I almost lost it. Like, especially when people come from America and do that. Oh man,
Yes.
that
Oh,
person's off. I'm like, you know we don't do this in America. Like if you just threw trash on the street in America and somebody saw you, like you'd be looking crazy. So why go back home knowing that that's an issue and throw your trash out there? Like I keep all my
you
trash in my
contribute
car.
to the problems that are there.
Yeah,
A lot
so
of
some
people
of
here
those
go over
things.
there.
Oh, I seen a video. Somebody took a shit out in the street somewhere in Liberia. Like, nah, somebody need to whoop that person ass. I'm just saying. So like, you really like went somewhere and just pulled his pants down and took a dump, and like what the hell? So, um, yeah, those are just some things that I saw that I was like, yeah, we definitely got to do better. I know a lot of those things are out of our control, but development wise, um, I want even if you take a little bit of money, even if you say this is my Africa investment account, and you put $100, 200, is that something you do, Emma, where you work with people, even if they only have like $1,000 a month, they can get a certain amount. Y'all can go you can work to a certain point. They don't have no money, you stop. Is that something that people do when they're developing with you? Like they do certain levels, maybe they do the
Yes.
foundation
Yes,
first.
a lot of we have some clients actually that houses are almost well at roofing level, and then they have to go and raise some money and then come back. Even though the contract does say within 15 days you have to give us a notice if you can't continue your project because of finances. But I have I'm so flexible, even though that's pretty much what the contract is. But after we review this, and I know some people can come up with the money immediately, I try to have a wiggle. We try to have a wiggle room to allow them to raise the money before we can move on to the next stages. We just have a lot of projects on our hands right now, so I mean, so that actually helped them because the capacity that we are in, we have to keep moving. But then when they're ready, we can just have to re-strategize and bring our men back. But yeah, it works for some people. Some people would say, "Hey, you know what? I'm buying 100 bags of cement this month," um, and then next month they say, "Okay, I have to work and buy whatever else that I need." So yeah,
Yeah.
there are a lot of
Like
ways.
that's better. I feel like that's better though than trying to say I'm gonna save up $60,000 to build my house. Like, you know how hard that is to save that amount of money, just a huge lump sum. To say, okay, I'm gonna
Hmm.
save 50,000. I'm gonna save sixty
Yeah.
thousand. I'd rather somebody have 10,000 and instead of blowing that money, go put it towards something. Maybe start your foundation, start your architectural drawing, um, get some materials, get something. But I feel like that's what's going to help the country the most right now is just people developing. And obviously, we're going to lead by example and we're going to keep coming out here and screaming the same thing. Let's develop, let's develop, let's develop. Um, but I feel like that'll really help the country out. People start developing and not doing away with those cornerstones. Everybody got cornerstones.
All right, so cornerstone country.
Yeah,
Very sorry, it all has to do with leadership and the majority of Freetown. I think that's what the person meant to say. The majority of Freetown is very progressive. Leadership. So, are you saying that what leadership are you talking about? Because a lot of the development that we're talking about are people, individuals, like in people living in the diaspora and going to Sierra Leone to develop. I don't know if that's government development that Stefan's talking about, but I have some friends from Sierra Leone. They think otherwise, but that's again, that's like a few sample size. You know, it's not a lot of people from my end. So I don't know what kind of leadership that is. Is it across the political spectrum, or is it across just individuals going over there? I have no idea what's going on in Sierra Leone. Stefan is building in Sierra Leone, so he can speak to that. Hey, tripping.
Yeah, I mean, I we don't. I guess you don't really talk a lot of politics, and I agree with you on that. I feel like talking politics is like counterintuitive because we really can't do anything. Like, what are we gonna do? You can't force the president or anybody in the government to do anything. So I think let's just focus on things that we could focus on, and this is why we take our time and come out here and do these lives and just try to spread positivity. I think that's some things that we can do each personally. Um, like they say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I think that's very important when we're speaking about our country because others are easily influenced, and a negative word goes further than something positive. If you tell somebody something negative, they take that to the bank. Positivity, they got to research it, they got to think about it, and all that. So we need to overload on the positivity. There's a lot of negative things, obviously, going back to Africa, but I feel like the positives outweigh the negatives. And I spent most of my life in America, and I mean, I'm not looking forward to spending all my life over here. I don't like the direction the country is going in. I feel like I could play a bigger role in Liberia, and I think I owe it to the country just being born over there. That's where like my ancestors, my family. That's where my mom's from. I see somebody on here with a middle name Cooper. We
I
probably live.
know that's your family.
Yeah. So um, yeah, I feel like by doing this, by being involved in this, I can have a lot more sense of accomplishment when I look back 20, 30 years from now. And I don't think I could ever have that much of an impact in America than I can in Liberia. So just something to think about for a lot of us, because I'm sure everybody is on years from Liberia. So that's what the country needs. It needs us spreading positivity. It needs us to develop. And even if you don't have 50, 60, $70,000 to drop it all down, you know, do it in phases. A lot of times when I was buying land from Emma, some of the land I had all the money. Some of the land I break it down into three, fours. So that's pretty much how I do when I do development too. I might do a foundation, and then by the time they're working on the foundation, I'm working on the money for the next phase. But I try to live below my means because I know I have an agenda in mind. I have a goal, and I want to develop. I want to build in Liberia. This road is going to open up a lot of opportunities for us to start building in that area, and I plan to use this opportunity to be an example so everybody can see. So we have a lot of footage, and I can't wait until that road is done and we start building, so we can show the entire process from start to finish. And I think when in the next 5 years, that community will be a model community. And maybe some of you guys now who's not involved in development, take this as your opportunity to start that savings fund, start that Liberia savings account. Find different ways to leverage your credit, build your credit up, because in the next 2 years, maybe the new community that Emma's starting, you guys can jump on that too. I know I'm definitely going to be involved in a lot of these communities because I want to have a lot of developments to pass on to my kids. I feel like that's, life insurance is important, of course, but man, imagine if I could leave my kids 3, 4, 5, 6 houses that there's no payments on, there's no insurance and none of these things. I mean, that's just a legacy right there. And that's what I'm working towards. And I'm going to encourage as many people as I can. Anybody who has ears to listen, I'm always be there talking. Even if you turn your ears away, I'm going to still be talking. So anytime you tune in and see my face, I'm going to be talking, and then we're going to be talking about the same thing. So negativity, there's a lot. Positive, I feel like outweighs the negative. Um, this is a great country. Has a little shaken history, but that's what makes us who we are. So I think it's time. It's time to come back. It's time to start building. All that negative sentiment, all the stuff like that. Come on, you got a white man over here telling you to go back to Liberia.
Yeah,
What you
listen to the white
complaining
man.
about, right? Yeah, when the white man telling you to go back, you messed up.
I mean, this person speaks to leadership. You don't have to be in any political position to be a leader. I think leadership starts with a vision and being able to lead people to do the right thing. And so, like we previously mentioned, this community, I'm not into politics. Stefan is not into politics. But what I do understand is politics has a lot to play in our lives. Even in the United States, the air that you breathe, and I'm not talking about the air that God make you breathe, but the smell, everything is politicized. And think about it when you talk about the environment, the price of your food is politicized. The road you drive on, everything is politicized. So yeah, so politics does play a huge role in our lives. Now, when you go to Liberia, we can only rely on what politicians are doing. Okay, we can actually make some of the changes that we want to see. So in our community, as we talk about road connectivity, electricity, water supply, these are things that you as an individual or people who are sitting at home watching this channel, you can do. You can mobilize and do these things. Fixing this role in our community, we don't need a government. We don't need government people to come and tell us that we need to fix the road. We know that the road needs to be fixed for our cars to drive there. We know that our business there will have customers driving on the road, so it needs to be fixed. So if we were sitting around waiting for the government to come and fix the roads within this community and the business land, we obviously would not be moving any further. Our thing then would be complaining about, oh my God, why isn't the government fixing Barabia's road? Why is the government not fixing the road to my house? We need to get out of this mindset that the government must do everything for us. That's not what it is. Me personally, I see government in Africa and even here, president, whatever, I see them as a symbol. There are some things that they have to do and they are obligated to do because they're put in power for that, but not everything. We as citizens have to be patriotic. We have to say, you know what, I can do this. I need to get up and make an impact in the country that I'm from. Maybe you grew up as a poor person. I don't know. But then God gave you this opportunity. You travel and you come to learn. You make money, and all these things. You have to look back and say, I came from a place where I didn't have enough. Now let me go back and give to the country. So oftentimes we say like bread this and that. Like bread does not owe any of us anything. At the end of the day, you owe your country a lot. The country does not owe you anything. And in fact, the leaders that you complain about all the time that don't fix your road to your house, they actually don't have to fix the road to your house. There's nowhere in any constitution that says the president has to fix the road that goes to your house. So we as people have to think outside the box, change our mindset, and be leaders too. You can be a leader in your community. You can be a leader in the place you bought your land and you have cornerstones all over the place. You really can be a leader there. And so, leadership does not really equate to political power.
Nice, nice. Well said. Man, I want to show these people this video so bad. This road. I'm so like, I love this
Yes,
road.
please. We
I
need
mean,
to
all I
show
got
it.
is my phone
Yes.
just to put it over there. And I can't even like put it like the best way. But just, I mean, wait, this thing not even playing. Oh yeah, it is. Imagine just
Is it
walking nice and
good?
slow.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good spot. Yeah, that's a good spot. I think they can see it.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think they can see it. Yeah. So this is the start of our road project in the Burrillville area and also the investment property. We are moving, guys. This place was all we purchased these properties, but now as you guys can see, we are fixing the road. And yeah, this community will be a model community across Liberia because you know what? I have not seen anyone take this initiative to say I'm going to have a community development where the roads are fixed, the alleyways are fixed, electricity across the whole community, and so you can do it. You can do it. I'm not involved in the politics, but the idea came about. and this is how I can contribute. And then I'm so happy to have Stefan on the team, who is also very forward moving to have this project done, and we will have more and more projects to do. You talk about President of Rwanda, Kigali. Hmm. Yes, cleanup campaigns. Again, what? Oh, that's nice. That's a nice video too. Oh yeah, it's showing.
You see, look at that, man. Yo, do you see how different it makes this whole area look?
Yes.
It's like
I'm
amazing.
excited for these people to see. Yeah.
It's amazing. This place looked completely different with a road. This was all sand right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can actually, now when we go back, we don't need to walk.
And trees, like
Half
you
a mile.
got a lot of trees over there too. That
Yes.
stages. Yeah.
Like, just look at that road.
You guys, yeah.
I think did I share with the group that first did I share it when that first let me see if I have it over here. Oh man, this is gonna be bad. Look what this place look what it looked like before last year.
Yeah, last year. That's how it was last year, guys. Mm-hmm.
Do you see what this place looked like? Look at this. Trees everywhere, bushes everywhere, like pretty much like a rainforest, a jungle. So Liberia is filled with lands like this. Like it's amazing how much open land this country has.
Yeah.
Lands that can be developed, made beautiful, beautiful communities, like close to the ocean, the wind, the view. Like you worry about heat. People always ask me, "Oh, is it hot? Is it hot? Is it hot?" It's near the ocean. You got that breeze coming in. It's a nice breeze from the Atlantic, and from this land right here, you know you can see Monrovia when you go.
Yeah, Duka side, yeah.
Yeah, so you can see it like it's right there. Like, see how different this area looks? This is an older video, probably earlier this year. Actually, this I even have one older because look, we had this before this when we knocked the trees down.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's all started with all the trees and all that.
Yeah, so before it even looked worse, but look how much different it looks now that we've done just that little bit of work.
But yeah, I will also speak to this fact that because it's a collective effort, although everything that we do, projects become successful, does have some barriers to cross over. But yeah, I give credit to our group of people who are also forward thinking and looking to not only just develop this role, but just this community and be a part of a project that can serve as a model for all of us. And in Liberians who are in the diaspora or even on the ground can say, you know what, if these people came together to fix these roles around here and also to develop this community, we can do it. We don't have to wait for those in political power positions to fix or do things that we as people can actually do ourselves.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, the government, I mean, what reason does government got to come fix our road in Brewville? It has nothing to do with no main road. Like, it doesn't benefit them to get to anywhere. There's no traffic going here. It's just our little community that only people who own homes and businesses will even have a reason to go down. So, I mean, you're waiting for government to fix it. Even a lot of the main roads, they're not fixing. So, like you said, a joint effort to come together. That's why we need more people coming in and trying to be involved in projects like this, because the amount we're spending is a very reasonable amount to have a road. I, for one, am not losing any sleep over that money. I'm not even going to think about that money. That money is never going to cross my mind when I'm driving down that road.
Okay.
So for me, it's a wonderful investment, and I've never been happier to see a road get fixed. And I can't wait to fix 100 of these roads. And I can't wait to start. I'll say somebody said thing. I can't wait to be involved in a project near you. Maybe you have your cornerstone sitting somewhere, and next thing you know, boom, we have a community coming up. Now your opportunity is here. So you never know. If that comes up, I mean, just take advantage of it. Don't be one of those people like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna spend $1,500 on this road. What's he spending? What are they spending? What is this person doing?
Right.
What that person doing? What about this person right here that owns this land that we ain't seen in 50 years? Like, what are they doing? Like, do you want your road fixed or not? And
Right.
remember you
Right.
told me the story of people. Actually, it's the material cost goes up because people got to deliver the material, and they
Yes.
can't take it to your development because the road is so bad. So they got to dump it off somewhere else, and you got to pay somebody to manually
So
transport
you
it from
pay
the
you
dump
pay
site.
more to transfer your materials because
Yeah,
you're fixed. Most of
yeah,
them probably have experienced this anyway.
right. Like in this Brewville community, there's no way we're making it up near the beach. Like as soon the closer you get to the ocean, like there's thick sand, and with this sand, the more your tires spin, you just sink lower. It's like
Right.
quicksand, so you sink down. So there's zero chance of you making it through there. So yeah, we had to get that road gone, like out of here. So collectively, we came together and got this done. So I encourage you guys to be pushing that. Maybe you might have an area in Liberia. I mean, not likely. Good luck on trying to get others to kick in. That's the bad part. So get with the program. Get with somebody who's already doing it. That's the benefit of
Yes.
getting with somebody like that.
So surprisingly, the sector community, we have about 13 members now. We started literally only one person who had an interest in this, but now we're 13, and we're gonna start clearing in October. The thing is, this second community now can see the first community and how far how we started, some of the barriers that we had to cross, and so this second community now is looking at the first community to ensure that we're doing everything accordingly, and people are very excited. Love the community concept. They love that they don't have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for roads. So it's good. It's good. It's a good development.
Yeah, and the more of those that you accomplish, I mean, it's just overall better for the country. Because now, I mean, you fix that road. I mean, people. I know people are gonna be flooding in to buy land around that road now.
Yeah.
Um, so I
Yes.
mean,
Imano actually told me today. He told me, he was like, but you guys are gonna pay to go on this road.
oh yeah, people coming inquiring now, huh?
Yep.
They inquire when they see the road.
Yep.
So that just goes to show you how beneficial roads are in this country, man. Like, and then that Marshall land we got, oh Lord, I know I'm gonna just have to get me a big truck because those people are not gonna be kicking on that road. And
Nope.
that road right there, it's like, look, man, I already got my mind made up. Because I heard somebody try to get other people to contribute, but that's the thing with people in our country too. They want to play a game to see. No, I'm gonna hold out. Let this person
Right.
fix the road. Like they want
Right.
to play like a little mental game. All right,
Right.
y'all don't know I'm planning on sending my big truck over there. All right, so when you see me riding through all that with the big truck, just know because I have very nice land in Marshall, but the same issue. We gotta
Yeah.
park. We gotta park and walk to that land. We can't make it. The sand is so thick. Um, so how you gonna get people to contribute on the road? It's better if you guys are starting off and everybody's already on the same page because people are not
Exactly.
putting their money in. So it sucks to say you're gonna have nice land, especially if you want to be near a lake or a beach. I mean, the roads are gonna be torn up. So before you guys go and buy those lands, now that you guys know Emma, you're subscribed to her channel. Hopefully, if you're on this live, I would much rather take the approach of contacting her, trying to be a part of the next community instead of going and just buying that random land because these beach lands you just can't get to them. I mean, this it's sand. How you gonna get there if the road's not fixed? It's like quicksand. So don't just buy random lands because you see a beach, you see an ocean. You're not going to be able to get to that land, I promise you. And right now I'm in the process of trying to ship a vehicle over there. Ridiculously high prices to ship cars over there. So by the time you go and buy that big truck, and don't think that just a regular F-150 can make it through this. I'm talking about some sand. I'm not talking
Mhm.
about just dirt. Like if you talk about sand, you need something like you need a heavy duty to make it past that sand. So your regular F-150 or your Nissan Xteras, your Nissan Pathfinders, they're not going to be able to make it through this kind of sand. You need something a heavy duty off road vehicle. So before you go and do all that, buy that vehicle, ship it over there. You might as well just get with Emma, plan to be a part of the next community, and in that way you could just buy a regular car in Liberia and make it to your land. That's a much better solution than trying to take the high road or trying to do it all by yourself, because your neighbors are not going to contribute. It's a mind game. They're going to play with you. You're going to knock on their fence. Their caretakers are going to tell you they're not here. They're out of town.
Even to get their numbers, honestly.
They're not going to give you their
I
numbers.
said this on the channel before. My house on the Robertsfield Highway, to get to that house, thank God I have a 4-wheel. But to get to the house, man, the mud, the water, the sand, getting to my house is a headache. And I've tried to ask for my neighbors, and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't have the numbers. I don't have the numbers." It's a headache. You just don't want to. You don't want to continue with that. And at the end of the day, I told them, I said, "Well, we are just going to drive on this road like this." But it's sad though. Obviously, it's very sad, and I would like to work on the road, but I can't, for some reason, find those that have the land around there, and that's why it's very important to start together collectively. I'm actually starting my third community in Magibie County, so I'm kind of moving away from Burrillville side. I'm going to Magibie, so that would be the third community, and people have actually signed up. We have 6 people in that community, and like I said, I think this is one of the best ways to get this development going.
Right, and this is a great opportunity. Now nobody can say they don't know anybody who's doing that. I mean, what a great opportunity to be involved with like-minded individuals. All your properties going to be together, not only for protection, but eventually you guys are going to have a road and other amenities, like we plan on security posts. Just so many great things I look forward to, and I can't wait to have my house develop over there, my compound, and just be able to go back over there and spend months over there. So I definitely looking forward to that. Looking forward to moving forward with this project, and I can't wait to put the clips together. I can't wait to fly my drone over that.
So you can see, yeah. So you can
Yes, I can't wait to fly my drone over that. So maybe I should try to find some footage of my
yeah,
drone.
from when you went back with the drone footage, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's gonna look really nice because that obviously
we just love this real stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm in love with that road, man. I'm gonna get a picture, a portrait of this road framed. And I got footage when you try to fly your drone. Whatever happened to that thing, anyways?
I still have the drone. I was so scared to fly the drone. That's Deuteronomy's drone, though.
Oh, he gave it to you to take back there?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
He gave it to you to take it over there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hey, we gotta get Emmanuel a drone, man.
Yeah, he would love that. So Miss Sana Freeman asked a question. She said, "Hey guys, is the sand in the neighborhood useful in building? I saw people on one of the earlier videos digging sand, if I'm mistaken." So typically, the sand over there is not advisable for bricks of building, because it's gonna crack and leave a crack in your foundation, or with the building process, so they don't recommend it. But some sand can be used for plastering and other things, but not necessarily for foundation. So when you're working with your engineer for that area, you have to ask them, okay, what can we use this sand for? Is it mostly for plastering, which is like the smooth sand, or is it used for building your home or whatever that you're building? It's very important to ask though. But that sea sand, they don't use it for bricks. I would say that for sure. Anyone who tells you otherwise, they want your house to have cracks.
I wonder if family member will tell you that one.
They'll be like, yeah, you can do it.
Oh yeah, that's the best sand to use.
But yeah, Miss Simon Freeman, the sand can be used for something, but I just don't. I have not communicated that with the engineer yet to know what it can be used for. And secondly, we are stopping people from digging sand from at the beach property. The administrator is actually going to court to get us the paperwork to call police every time we see people trying to go there. Emmanuel actually seized some sand from people who try to dig around our beach property. So they were taking it to the Chinese people yard, they said. But he stopped them. Yeah. I was saying the video. He stopped them. He said, "Look, you guys cannot take the sand out of here." So yeah.
That's good.
Yes.
Community.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that. And that was all bushes and trees right here until we
Yes.
cleared it. But you
Yeah.
can see, look at that ocean right there. I mean, just
Yeah.
look at that view. I mean, that's like anywhere else in the world. That's like $1 million area
Yes.
right here.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So you
A
see
lot
that
of
whole
good things.
area?
A lot of good things are happening. And so
Amazing. Well, any last words from
any
the
last word, Miss Santa
viewers?
Freeman, you're gonna use your sand, but I just gotta find out for what. She is cracking me up. Yeah. So you guys, any questions? Any last word before we can peace out of here? Miss Santa Freeman is part of the community. That's why she's
Yes,
engaged.
yes.
So
Sendo.
engaged here. Yes. So let me see. I think we have some community members on here.
Really cool.
Yes, yes, I see a community member. I'm not gonna say their name because they don't want to be called. But yeah, I see a community member here in my second community, the second community. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I hope somebody's compiling the footage for that second community.
yes,
Beginning to end, footage is just like, people just can't believe it. So you need that footage. I'm keeping all mine. The road project, I'm keeping all the footage in a separate file. All the footage we got, the drone footage, I have them all saved, and uh, yeah, trying to encourage Emmanuel to actually take more footage. And yeah,
yes, 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 yes. Yeah, he sent me a video of the sand. He told them he literally they left the sand there. It's like black sand. I wonder what they used for it, but I'm gonna ask more. The guys were taking black sand from the lane. Mother told them, if you don't put that sand back, I'm gonna come over there for you. And those guys started to run, and
that
so
was
they had to go to the court to get paperwork because the Chinese guys, they want the sand. They send these people to get the sand and take it to their place. So Emmanuel also put sand at the entrance because the truck can't go over it. So the Chinese guy was like begging today, and then they had to call me, and I told them no, you cannot take the sand from there. So anyway,
they told us people do what? Ask for permission to
so
get the sand.
the begging Emmanuel begging, and said no. Who talk to your boss lady? He said okay. So he called me and said, "Oh, these people I told them no, but they want to talk to you." I said the same answer you give them is the same answer I agree with. It's crazy.
Those
You're
Chinese
taking
people,
sand and damaging
they act,
somebody's
they
land.
act so brave when they're in Liberia. When they're in America, you don't even hear them speak.
Exactly.
When they go to Africa, they want to act like
Yeah,
they're
that's
King Kong. Yeah, in America, nah, those people don't even speak. You don't even see them around. They're so quiet.
right.
Like there's a different version of them over there, but
Yeah,
not
so
those
that's the good
things.
thing about the toll road that we're putting over there. Imana's going to charge $10 to go in, $10 to come out. That road is not a free road. So
And that's for the people that trying
anyway,
to get sand. They trying to get sand to go through the
they're
toll
trying to
road.
get sand. Yeah, I'm going to show you the video. That literally, Imana told them to leave their sand bags there because what they do is these guys will get the sand, take it to the Chinese people and sell it for less, and the Chinese people will sell the whole load $350.
Wow, wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So anyway, you guys, anything to add to this conversation before we can peace out? Uh, I guess not. But yeah, so any last word, any encouragement, anything to add?
I mean, stop sending y'all money to families. Not getting involved in businesses that y'all know nothing about without doing due diligence. Uh, and if you're trying to do any development, consult with somebody who's already doing it and put your pride to the side. If you want the best possible development quality wise, then you got to go with somebody who produces quality results. If you're trying to find something for your family to do, just have them send you videos of whatever's going on. Just let that be your responsibility. Let them send you videos. It just makes it much easier. But don't let any past mistakes discourage you from investing and developing, because if you really care about the country, that's what that country really needs from us. These bigger issues that we discussed right here, a lot of them are out of our control. But if we get closer to the problems, then they become closer to being solved. And if you don't have a car or a house in Liberia, it's hard for you to go and tackle bigger issues, because every time you got to go back, you got to think about how much you're going to spend to live, how much you're going to spend to go out and eat, how much you're going to spend for transportation. And that's going to discourage you from even going back. So get like me, start working on your house, start finding your plans for transportation. Once we can get that solved right there, then we can collectively try to start solving other issues in the country. But we have to be able to get closer to the problem first. We can't solve those issues from the comfort of our homes in America or UK, Australia, wherever we at. So personally, that's my goal. I'm trying to get closer to Liberia. But certain obstacles that prevent that, place to stay, transportation, and don't go out to eat 3 times a day.
Yes, that can be costly.
Can it? I'm talking $10 a plate. Like, people get confused when you tell them $10 a plate. Like, well, how do people survive over there if it's $10 a plate? Well, they don't go out to eat.
Yeah, they don't.
They cook their food at home, and they're gonna smash that food for like 3 days. And Liberia, unlike America, when you have leftovers in your fridge, your guests will eat leftovers. They will come. You're laughing.
Whatever I eat, you're gonna eat.
No, you know, in America, you'll never have a guest come over and eat leftovers.
Yeah, no.
You're like, what the hell is this? But in Africa, oh damn,
They're gonna eat that cold rice.
They don't care how long it's been in there. It'd be 3 or 4 days in the fridge. They're about to clear that out. But yeah, that's one of the mistakes. We was eating out. Like, we was always on the move, so we was always eating out, and we didn't have anybody just to like be in the house cooking for us. So spent a lot of money, and transportation, stuff like that. So I'm trying to solve those problems for myself, and then in the future, I want to help solve those problems for you guys. And then collectively, we can start tackling bigger issues. But you complain about roads, let's help. Let's fix the roads. You complain about development, let's get together. Let's do some kind of development. Business ideas, I mean, I'm all ears. Like, we come on here, we talk about business all the time. But you can't, it's hard to run a business if you don't have a place to stay. So it always goes back to basic necessities. Start working on your house. Start working if you want to be a part of a community. In my opinion, that's the best way to go about it. And until now, we didn't have that option. So you guys have the option of, jumping in one of these communities. So, I suggest that jump in the community, start saving your money to build your house. In the future, the very short term, I want to have some rental cars over there, because I run a rental car business in America. So I want to be able to provide rental cars in Africa at an affordable price. So maybe I can help you guys out with some of those transportation needs in the future. But right now, I'm trying to solve a lot of those problems for myself, because these are some of the things that make it hard to go back to Liberia. When you add up all the costs involved in doing these things, and then you just see how much it really is. You might only be able to go to that country like once every few years. But if you build your house too, I mean, it's an asset. If you can do it in a way where others can come in there and they can pay you to stay there. So the money you put into your house, the 50, 60, 70,000, you can start charging a daily rate when people go back to the country. That's something the country needs, Airbnb, so you can start getting that money back. It's an asset, it's an investment. Be disciplined in America. If you're going to start saving for that investment fund, then do that. If you got to cut down how much McDonald's you eat on a weekly basis, then I'll suggest you do that.
You must get you McDonald's.
I just use that as
No.
I hope not. I hope Burger King and none of that. I hope not. But yeah, live below your means. No YOLO, no YOLO, no. And you guys don't know YOLO. You only live once, right? That's what everybody's screaming. You only live once, so why
Well,
not
don't
get
you
that
want to
thing
live
right?
once though?
Yeah, and just I mean, basic finances. I mean, right now we're in a recession, so there's not really time to be like trying to get that bigger house, bigger car. But we shouldn't be doing that stuff anyways because we're from a very poor country, and we have a much bigger agenda. So I think that the sooner we start to understand those things, then maybe we can start putting action behind that. But I mean, it's fine if you guys think a lot of this is just talking. We just coming on here to talk. I know what Emma is involved in, and she knows my plans, and she knows I'm very serious about them. So, you guys, you're seeing action what we're showing you right now, and we're doing these things all from America. Um, so anybody can do it. It's possible. We just have to come together, be disciplined, and just be focused on the agenda at hand, which is developing Liberia and doing things that benefit Liberia. So that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with. I appreciate everybody joining us for this discussion. I appreciate you having me on, Emma. Um, Anytime you ever need me to, any input, I'm always glad to come on, especially if we're talking about Liberia, Africa, anything development and business talks like that. I'm always glad to partake. And I hope you guys at least got encouraged or motivated by this conversation. And, you know, uh, the only person that can answer these questions really is the person in the mirror. We can come on here and speak till our face turn blue, but you know we're gonna need you need to put action behind it, and um, a lot of that, it's not always easy. There's definitely more things like when I look at lands I bought in Liberia and I add it up, and I see some of my friends like investing in real estate and doing Airbnbs, and you know um, I see the opportunity cost. Okay, I missed out on these things right now, but I know that my country needs me to put money over there. So in the short term, um, I'm willing to sacrifice not getting that extra rental house in America, not getting that whatever it is, and sending some money to Africa and doing that sacrifice in the short term because I know what I want in the long term. So it's not always easy. There is pain that comes with it sometimes, but that's why it's better if we have a community. We could talk about these things. You guys can come on here, run some things by us, like I'm doing this and that. It's not going this way or that way, and we can add an input. And Emma does a lot of. I ask Emma a lot of questions all the time, and she helps me out. She answers that for me. So it's not the easiest journey, but um, it's not worth it if it's easy. So that's another part of life that I learned. It has to be some level of difficulty involved to get that celebration at the end, if that makes sense. So let's just all stick together. Let's move as one, and let's get to work.
Some of your favorite companies in the United States, Walt Disney, Amazon, Apple, they failed many, many times. Okay, so you are not an exception. You try something, it doesn't work. You re-strategize. You keep working at it until you reach your goal, and then at that point you can not just relax or be complacent, but at least you have to keep putting in the work and all of those things to become successful. And Liberia is no exception. Just because you're from there doesn't mean things are going to fall on your lap. That is not the case. Actually, you have to go through a lot of red tapes, and but you have to be consistent, keep working, keep re-strategizing, and working with people who actually know and have experience and perhaps can explain their failures. I know in our society we don't talk about failures, but it's very important to talk about those things. It helps others to know how to move forward or perhaps how to modify what it is that they are working on. And lastly, Liberia is all of our home. A house is not a home. America is a house. It's not your home. And so when you see this country or wherever, because not just America, I'm in America, so I reference America a lot. But if you are within the diaspora, you have to understand that this place or Europe, UK, Canada, wherever you are, it's just an opportunity. It's not your home. It's just your house, and you will feel more comfort being at home and safer than to be in another person's land and say, this is where I am, this is where I'm from, this is my home, and all of these things. Nice to say, but the reality is that's not your home. And Liberia is where you need to put your attention. Liberia is where you need to give your love and care. Because, yes, like I said before, Liberia does not owe any of us. We do owe the country a lot. And so we need to refocus our thoughts and our resources in that direction. So yeah, that's all I'll leave y'all with. We move. That's it.
We move. All right. Thanks, guys. Emma, talk to you very soon.
Okay.
Viewers, thanks for joining us. And we out of here. Right? Time to wrap.
Bye.
All right. Later.